Welcome, welcome. We are live. We are live. Episode 80. Episode 80. We're moving on up. We're moving on up. Good evening, good afternoon, good night to everybody, wherever you're at in the world today. We got our legendary special guest. We have David Pugh today. So this one gonna be an amazing episode. I can't wait to hear his story. So this is great. We had some good conversations off the live, before I turn on the live. So this is gonna be great, man. So I just can't wait. But I hope everybody's doing well. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all the viewers who will be tuning in, in support of David. I appreciate you guys as always. You know how we roll. So I hope everybody doing well. I hope everybody have a good week. It's a crazy world out there, man. All kind of stuff going on. So make sure everybody just be safe. Hope everybody's having a good and safe week. As always. Condolences. And respects to everybody that's going through any tough times as well too. If anybody needs to chat it up or talk to anybody, I'm always here. So just put that out there, man. So shout out to John. Shout out to John St. Louis with the shirt. So definitely big up to John, man. Live everyday fit, man. 621. So definitely shout out to John on that, man. Hope everybody doing well. Shout out to all of the viewers tuning in. Arika, I see you. Karian, I see you. Big up, big up, big up. Then we have a Facebook user. I don't see the name. I'm probably gonna see it when I turn it on. But I'm gonna go ahead and give the shout outs to all the different business owners and from the Virgin Islands that's doing their thing and everything. So definitely, man, definitely. I always got to show love to different business owners from the St. Croix representing. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate it. So we got legends340.com. Definitely, you guys go out and check them out. We got Savory Eats LLC based in Orlando. Sheena, shout big up to Sheena. Anytime you guys in the Orlando area, outskirts, Kissimmee, etc., you guys can always hit her up. And then she have food sale and stuff. She also does catering. We got meltingpotcookingclass.com. Also follow on Instagram, Melted Pot Cooking Class. We got Sebone Caribbean Restaurant. We got Next Level Up Printing. We got Calypso Clothing LLC, calypsoclothing.com. Make sure you guys go out and support. We got Hungry Hearts Hustle Apparel.com. Follow our Instagram at Hungry Hearts Hustle. We got Island Time, IslandTimeGrill.com. We got Coach Tegan 41 workout videos on Patreon. We got CaribbeanGirlsRock.com. Also on Facebook, Caribbean Girls Rock, Instagram, Official Caribbean Girls Rock IG. We got meltedbycroix.com. Follow on Facebook and Instagram, Melted by Croix. Make sure you guys check out the website. They got some good, nice handmade wax fragrance. So make sure you guys check that out. We got Rico Canario. His website is www.lulu.com/spotlight/R Canario. We got Midnight ENT. Follow on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at The Real Midnight. Also on TikTok. We got City of Refuge Worship Center. They live stream every Sunday, 10 a.m. We got The Good Life Apparel. We got AM Credit Repair LLC. Follow on Facebook at Livewire Sports. Team Livewire gonna be on tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. I'm probably gonna post it after this show, maybe post it tomorrow. Post the announcement tomorrow morning, early in the morning. We got C Boogie Talks every Thursday, 8 p.m. We got The Brand LLC. Website brandnewhomes.com. We got On the Edge Performance LLC. Follow on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, On the Edge Performance. We got on Instagram, Facebook at Dexter_exclusive unapologetic. We got Apollo Legion. We got Paris Enterprise. We got Larisha Star Brown with Stars Eats and Treats, Bubbles Promotion. We got Mentality of a Pro. That's the title of Tegan's new book. We got the website, KevinCoachTShepherd.com. We got Nona Enviro Group website, environona.com. We also got Kenya Eugene. Her website is kenyaheartmusic.com. We got Senator Genevieve Whitaker. Follow on Instagram, Senator Genevieve Whitaker. Also on Twitter at Senator Whitaker. We got Anonymous website, westgirl.com. Apologize for making a mistake. We got White Way Service Station. We also got Thomas Bakery. And we got Live Everyday Fit 621. Live Everyday Fit. This is the shirt. Make sure you guys visit John, page. You guys could definitely check them out on Instagram as well. So I hope everybody's doing well. Last but not least, D.I.Legends, our YouTube channel. So anytime you guys want to catch all the previous episodes, so I hope everybody's doing well. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Previous episode we had Casey, the legendary referee Kendall Henry. His episode was amazing, man. I definitely have a lot of respect for Kendall Casey. His passion and drive to be what he wants to be. And once he decides to be what he wants to be, he definitely puts his mind to it and give 100%. He does research, he studies, he does all that, man. It's amazing how young he was when he got into refereeing. It just shows the passion that he had. He traveled all over the world, from refereeing basketball to playing music, man. So I didn't know he was playing music and and all that, man. And provided for the youths them and taking his time out and giving youths opportunities and scholarships, man. So Casey's doing a lot of great things, man. And Casey definitely continue to do what you're doing. Continue to be a role model for the younger generations, man. That's amazing, man. Definitely proud of you. So shout out to your whole family, shout out to your brothers as well, too. Kwame, Kimiko, all of them. So definitely shout out to everybody, man. So I appreciate you taking your time out, coming on the platform and sharing your story with us, man. I would definitely really appreciate it. And shout out to all the different viewers that take the time out to come and watch the different episodes. Also, shout out to all the guests that have touched the platform, taking time out of their busy day to tell us their story. So much love to everybody. So we are to episode 80. Featuring David. Like I said, I can't wait to hear his story. He has a lot of knowledge. He's cross paths with a lot of different athletes. So this one gonna be great. So I'm not gonna blabber anymore. I know you guys came to see him, so I will be introducing David Pugh. Welcome to the Elite Podcast, my brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you. And it's David Pugh.
Oh man,
Don't worry about it.
I forgot to what's funny, when I was saying your name, I was like, man, I should say I apologize if I pronounce it wrong, but I didn't say it, but I apologize. If you catch the previous episodes, I pronounce a lot of people's name wrong, so I definitely sincerely apologize.
I understand. As a school teacher, I mispronounced a lot of names.
Yeah. The viewers probably laughing at me right now, like, man, Mumba butchering David name, David last name, So
right.
So how you doing, man? How's everything?
I'm doing good. Everything is good. Can't complain. Surviving.
That's all we could do, man. That's all we could do, man. You look great, man. You look great, man. You look good. Like you could play a pickup game of basketball.
I don't think so. It's going to interfere with my golf swing. I'll play golf now. So,
okay, I see. I got you. Right. I got you. Yeah, we definitely don't want to do that.
It's over.
Oh, the jump shot over?
But I still think we can go at the top of the key, 20 shots, and I can make more baskets than you.
You got me on that one, man, because I never was a good shooter.
Oh,
so
okay.
You got me. I'm better now than I was before, so it might be, we might have a good competition, actually. I ain't going to sell myself shot. So... how's your family doing as well? How's your daughters and son, everybody doing?
Everybody's doing good. I have two daughters, Tracy and Kelly, and Crusions, Bonyac. Tracy's doing good. She attended Cornell University, got her bachelor's, then she went on to Johns Hopkins, got her master's, and she just completed her PhD at Columbia University. And I'm proud of her because, she's a Virgin Islander and she represented the Virgin Islands very well at each school. My youngest, Kelly, she went to Duke University and
nice.
Got her bachelor's, and she went to USC, University of Southern Cal, got her master's. So they're doing really well. I try to instill in them to represent St. Croix wherever they go, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true, man. That's important, man. That's lovely, man. That's lovely. You did a great job, man. You did a great job.
Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. So, David, man, tell us about yourself. Growing up. Where you was born, where you from.
Well, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and I'm a triplet. It's me and two girls. And I was at home all the time with my sisters, 7 brothers and sisters. And I just didn't like being home. So I participated in basketball, football, any kind of sports program that I could do. And in high school, I got cut every year from football.
Wow.
Basketball, I made the varsity. And in my senior year, I got hurt, a back injury. And I was only 5'11", but I averaged maybe 2 points a game. And I wanted to be a physical education teacher, so I attended Springfield College, which during that time was #1 in the nation academically for physical education. And I applied, got accepted. And that fall, when I went there, I played junior varsity football. And when I attended Springfield College, I was 6'3", 6'4".
Oh,
So I
wow.
started growing a little.
Yeah.
Um, After football, I was a wide receiver. And the varsity coach told me I have no future in football at Springfield College. So you better take your butt to basketball.
Basketball.
And Coach Billick knew about me. And I was the only, during basketball season, I made the JV. And I'm a practice ball player. I think most athletes, if you can condition yourself to believe, to love going to practice, and I love going to practice. I just love playing hard in practice and trying to prove that I was the best ball player in practice. Because if you do that, the games are going to come. Coaches are going to recognize you.
That's true.
And in December, Coach Ed Billick said, we're going to move David Pugh up to the varsity. And a lot of people were shocked. And on the varsity team, I was the only freshman, and normally freshmen don't play, but I played hard in practice. Came back sophomore year, junior year, senior year. I became captain of the basketball team. I was an All-American, third team All-American, first team All New England. I averaged 19 points a game, 10 rebounds a game. The highlight of my career at Springfield College was that my mother never saw me play basketball.
Ooh.
So in colleges, they have what they call a 1,000-point club. So if you score over 1,000 points in your career, you're in this special club.
Yeah.
So I had 990 something points. So I flew her in to see me go into the 1,000-point club because not too many ball players make it into the 1,000-point club. So she flew in and saw me for the first time in the mayor's tournament. And I believe the first game I scored 36 points, 24 rebounds.
Wow.
And they gave me the basketball at halftime, and I ran into the stands and gave it to her and hugged her and kissed her. I told her how much I love her and thanked her for everything she's done for me. And we won that one. We went to the finals the next day, and I believe I scored 24 points, 20 rebounds. So to this day, I still have the rebounding record at Springfield College, which is 24 rebounds in one game. And that's only because I was inspired because of my mother.
Wow. That's amazing.
But at Springfield College, I went on, like I said, become an All-American, EC player, All New England. In my senior year, an agent called me, William Smells, contacted me, said, I think you're going to go pro. And I was like, really? And he said, I'm going to fly you down to Madison Square Garden where the Knicks are playing the 76ers, and I want you to sign a contract.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I can't believe this. So I flew on down. I was sitting third row back from the floor seats, passing me the contract. I'm signing, and might be out there, And 76ers beat the Knicks. I flew back the next day, graduated, and then I went to Houston. And I worked out with some of the Houston Rockets. If anyone knows Houston, there's a recreation center that has a basketball court only for the pros. So Calvin Murphy was there, Moses Malone, Bob McAdoo, a few others, and I was playing with them. And we'd work out because they knew that I was going to the Nets. This was during the summer of June, July. And then my agent called me and said, got your plane ticket. You're going to William Patterson rookie camp with the New Jersey Nets. Now in rookie camp, it's not like now you have a Caliban, you go through all these skills and all of that. Rookie camp is the top 10 draft choices and 5 free agents. And their top 10 draft choices was Winfrey Boyce, who's a 6'6" guard out of University of San Francisco, along with Bill Cartwright, which we know Bill Cartwright played with Michael Jordan. Mike Phillips, 7-foot center out of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Dave Bader, he was another center out of Notre Dame.
Jeez.
And Walter Jordan, he played out of Purdue. The free agents were, and along with the other draft choices, Phil Sellers out of Detroit Pistons, Rich Law, he was with the Atlanta Hawks. Dickie Kelly was out of Baltimore, I believe. And then he had myself, who was an All-American, Division II, and another All-American was Division III. Now, I might have been a Division II All-American. However, everyone knows that Division I schools play Division II schools just to pick up guaranteed wins. But when you play at Springfield College, University of Maine, we beat them. Harvard, we beat them. Dartmouth, we beat them. University of Vermont, we beat them. Assumption, we beat them. Bridgeport University, we beat them. So we were ranked number 6 in the nation at one point.
Wow.
Because we were beating up on Division I schools. All right. So even though I'm a Division II All-American, you know, I did play with Division I ball players.
Yeah.
So in rookie camp, I remember the first day, Mike Phillips, and because I have rebounding record, it was like, well, David Pugh, you know, he's gonna be a good rebounder. Well, I'm 6'5". When I got with the Nets, for the first time in my life, I was the smallest person in camp. I'm walking around like, wow. 7 footers, 6'11", 6'6", 6'5", 6'8", 6'9". And Kevin Lockett was the coach. He had me with the forwards. And Mike Phillips, 7 feet, backed me up, dunked on me. Boom. Kevin Lockett said, Pugh, you go down with the guards. Now in college, I was a swing forward, shooting forward. With the Nets, all of a sudden, I am a point guard. Now, that's like driving an automatic car and all of a sudden putting you in a Volkswagen with a stick shift and say, drive, which I could not do.
Yeah.
You know, because at Springfield College, there was a system. All right. And you had to abide by that system. And that system included, if you got the ball, you could only dribble it no more than 4 times. If you dribble more than 4 times, sub, you're coming out. Sub. You took it between your legs. Oh, you're a hot dog. You're showing off. You're coming out.
Wow.
Okay. And that's why, you know, a lot of ball players, they couldn't adjust to the system. They couldn't adjust to the rules and regulations, you know, of different basketball teams. I was very coachable, you know. So with the Nets, I remember one time with the Nets, I didn't take my ankles, and they fined me $500. So when I got paid, you know, that week, my check was short $500. You know, I was like, I got to get, because, you know, NBA was very serious. I mean, even now, you know, because if you get hurt, that's part of preventive maintenance, taping up those ankles. That way you don't sprain your ankles too severely as long as they're taped.
Yeah.
So that went on for 2 weeks, rookie camp. And from rookie camp, what happens is you go to veterans camp. Veterans camp, they had Harvey Catchings, Bernard King, John Williamson, who was the big guard. But they took 4 of us. And they told me, they arranged it for me to go to Bahrain, which is near Saudi Arabia, to play. That way I get experience being a point guard. So I go to Bahrain, and, you know, it's a different culture. I was missing the United States. I was there for about 2 months. And I made a phone call because my girlfriend was from the Virgin Islands. And
Okay.
she said, come to the Virgin Islands. They got a men's summer league. They got the national team. You can contact your agent, tell them you're getting experience, and get back into the NBA. So
That's nice right there. Yeah.
that's what I did. So, I landed in New York, and from New York, Eastern Airlines, which, they don't run no more, to the
Yeah.
VI. So I lived with her and her parents in Beau, I think it's pronounced Beau Espillon, which is behind Glen. Just before you turn right in Glen, you turn left, the house is up in the hills. So I would walk from there and walk up to the housing projects across from Alfredo Andrews, looking for a basketball game. And
Yeah.
they all looking at me strange. And I started playing, dunking, playing well. And they said, Yankee, because they called me Yankee. Yankee, you should play in the men's league.
Yeah.
I said, well, how do I do that? And I ran into somebody that said, contact Sam Bow, Donald Bow's father.
Okay.
Now, they coached
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt. What year is this roughly?
78.
78. Okay.
Yeah. So I contact Sam, and he looked at me like, this Yankee, who the heck he think he is? And at that time, he was coaching a high school team, which was Sixers, his son Donald Bell, Dwight Gaines, a few others, but they were all in high school. So I'm sitting here with this high school team on the bench at Claudio Marco, and we lose the game. So finally he says, Yankee, go in. I go for 5 minutes to go in the game, jump shot, two. Come down, shake him, driving, dunking, two more. It's like, who is this Yankee? You know?
Yeah.
And we lost the game, but then the next game, I was a starter.
Oh,
And
nice.
we was winning. We came from last place to the finals, you know. And basketball was big back then because, we have to change with the times. And I agree with that, but there was no technology in the Virgin Islands. All right. And family values were really big because, and I say this because you had no internet. Television didn't come on until 3 o'clock, which you had the $1.98 beauty contest, the Gong Show, All My Children, General Hospital, which was a week late. They would send a tape from the States down to us, and they would play the tape, which was a week late.
Wow.
Monday
That's
Night
crazy.
Football was a week late. You knew who won the game, but a week later, we're watching the game. So, and of course, in Christianstead, the tourists, they think they're taking bets. We already know who's going to win. So the tourists, they be drunk and we take their money. But anyway, with the technology, so basketball was big. Claudio Marco was packed. They had cheerleaders, they had prep clubs, they had the girls in t-shirts. I mean, it was big. And they had some side betting, They would say, tall boy, Yankee, I'll bet some money. I'm not gonna say how much money they would bet. They say, I'm betting such and such on you. I said, bet
Yeah.
it. You're gonna win. So we made it all the way to the finals, and we played the brothers from Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
And they were a good team, but they were grown men. And we had the high school. And we're playing, and we're going up the court, and DeBango, good ball player, love DeBango to death, great player. DeBango shoots me an elbow, poof, in the mouth. I said, all right. I'm not gonna say what I said, but I said, if you hit me for another elbow, I'm gonna punch you in your face.
Yeah.
Poof, elbow, poof, and the fight breaks loose. Everybody in the stands, get that Yankee. They're kicking me, they fighting me, trying
Wow.
to punch me. I'm dunking in the center of the court. John Abrahamson picks me up, and we back against the wall because he's one of my frat brothers, and we just swinging. And people, because nobody can't come through the wall, but they're in front of me. We just swinging.
Yeah.
Finally got control of the game. I think the Bango and their starting five got thrown out. They said, do you want to play the game? Sam Bell said no. I said, play the game. Their starting five in the Bango, they've been ejected. We can win
Yeah.
this.
Go win. Yeah.
They gave him the game. I walked out, tires flat, cussing me, you
What?
know. Yeah,
That's crazy.
But 2 days later, we go to the next game, and they're like, the Yankee came back. The Yankee, and I'm like, this is basketball. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a fight. It happens. And we continue to play, and they beat us. They went on. We went to semifinals. They went on to play the Hustlers, and the Hustlers won. They had, uh, Flakes, Atmore Frederick, good ball player,
Good ball
but he
player.
carried them. They won the championship. But back in those days, without the technology, basketball, everyone would go to basketball games. Everyone would go to the beaches and hang out and go to, wherever you're on the beach, go get a free plate of food, you know,
Yeah.
busting the line with everybody. Since we got technology and cable, things have changed. The family values have changed. Nobody wants to come to practice. That we probably got the best thumbs because all they do is this, on the Nintendo, the youth, you know.
Yeah.
But that's where it all started. Um, and I've never won a men's open league championship. Always been to the final.
That's
Never
tough.
won.
That's tough.
Yeah. We got good competition. I mean,
Yeah.
I played with Ronald Charles. I remember him. He shoots me an elbow because he's trying to intimidate me, and I'm like, Ron, that ain't gonna do it. You
Yeah.
know. Um, Fredericks was good. I remember when Timmy was back in my when I was getting older. Timmy played in the league, and Timmy shoots me an elbow. I'm like, Timmy, that's when we were playing at all three. Timmy, that's not gonna do it. And I remember playing against Timmy, and we were down by two. And I said, I had the ball. We had a time. I said, Timmy, I'm gonna get the ball, and I'm gonna give you a hinge pump fake, and you're gonna go for it, and you're gonna foul me, and I'm gonna shoot two free throws, and we're gonna beat y'all. Oh no, Mr. Pugh. Come back in, head and shoulder fake. He goes for it, shoot, foul. I go to the free throw line, but I missed the two free throws. So
Oh man.
you know, that was one of the stories. But I tell you, the best ball player that I must say, and athletes, I've listened to the interviews with Charles Barkley and them guys, and you would never sit back and say if someone's better than you, you know.
Yeah.
But because every time I played, I knew I was the best ball player out there. You know, that was my mentality. But Trimmingham, weapon from West,
Yeah.
Trimmingham was bad. I mean, that boy could leap. I mean, one time he went over me. I saw the bottom of his shoes.
Jeez.
You know, he could shoot, but he was 6'6", 6'7", caught between that height in the pros. Not big enough to be that forward. But he didn't have the ball handling to be that guard. I mean, this is before Cutbird and Kevin Shepard.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get a chance to play with those guys because they were young. You know, but Trimmingham, weapon, he was bad. Now Flex was good too. Flex is good inside play, but weapon, he had it all. And I think he ended his career in Australia playing over there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But no, but then after that, I mean years and years of playing in all the leagues, I never won. And I must say, I had to be in the if not the top five, I know I was always in the top 10 for scoring and rebounding. And people have stopped me in the street and said, Pew, we were talking about you. You had one of the best jump shots in the Virgin Islands, you know. And they ranked me among, Timmy, Roger Bell, Cuthbert, you know, Kevin Shepard. I was like, thanks. That's a compliment, you
Yeah.
know.
That's
I'm
true.
proud of that, you know. And but then came the 35 and over league, and we won 7 championships in the 35 and over.
Wow.
Because I might have been in better shape than those guys because I tried to, I was in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
But we had Baker, Sixers. We had a good team. Wayne from the feed shop. We had T. Henderson and Holliger. We had a very good team. We won 7 championships, but that's not the same as the men's open league.
That's
And I've
true.
been to the finals many a time. Even I played with the Hustlers. And the Hustlers always won. And it was at the point I said, I'm gonna go to the Hustlers. I did not want to play with the Hustlers. The Hustlers to me was like the Boston Celtics. You got to respect them, but you don't want to play with them.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
And I finally played with those guys. And we go to the finals and just couldn't pull it off. You know. So
Man, that's tough.
but and then from there, I've always I coached at Central when I came down. I coached football with Bern Harding. Um, went to Atlantic Christian, and back then Atlantic Christian was seventh, eighth, and ninth graders.
I mean, yeah.
And must admit, I had some old ninth graders, and we beat everybody except Central. However, one year we were undefeated. We beat Central.
Wow.
I know everybody's saying wow, but
Yeah.
we beat them on a technicality because Interscholastic says you must have a written type roster before you play.
Okay.
Lockhart did not have a roster. Lockhart said, Pugh, we can play the game. I said, Lockhart, I'll be undefeated. Pugh, you're going to really walk out the gym. Watch me. Let's go, guys. We win by forfeit. They have no type roster. And they were pissed. We were in first place. Elena Christian, then Central. We were in first place. But the next time we played them, he had his type roster. Lockhart pressed me the whole game. He beat me, I think, 99-35. And I said, I knew it was coming, but I said, Lockhart, it was nice being number one, But if he pressed the whole game.
Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah. But we from there, our players, from Atlantic Christian to and Arthur Richards was Canes. He's a good coach also. They go to Central, so you guys got some good ball players from us. And I was glad that they did well because the Virgin Islands have come a long way from back in the 70s, to now, because I think we had great coaches. You had Danny Cornelius, God bless, rest in peace. Bud Hazard, he coached the girls.
Yeah.
T. Henderson was at St. Joe's, I believe. He was coaching down the road, which was a very good coach. Alan Cribbs, he coached Central. He coached Arthur Richards. He coached Charles H. He coached high school, junior high, elementary. Henderson has done the same thing. And all of these guys are good coaches, But we've come a long way. We've come a long way, However, I'm still here. I as a crucial man, my son.
That's right.
People laugh, but I'm still here. I'm not going nowhere. This is my home. I'm proud to be here. I tell people I'm a Virgin Islander. I'm a Crucian.
You are, man. You are.
One of the highlights of being here was back in 1989. They had a car contest where it was a brand new car, Pontiac Le Mans. They had 18 people standing around the car with your hand on the car, and the last person standing wins the car. Yeah. So you allowed a 1 hour break to go to the bathroom, and you allowed 6 hours break for 15 minutes. So I'm standing on the car, and this is up in Glen. In the tent, they had music there because now when you go to 2+2, you go to Hondo's, go to Grandstand, the clubs. When they close up, you come to the car show and watch us standing there with our hand on the car. And I set the record for the Virgin Islands, 96 hours, 24 minutes, and 36 seconds. With no sleep, with my hand on the car. Yes. And almost 4 days. And one of the biggest compliments that I got was, because it was mixed up and all of that, was one of my students walked away and said, son, they can't beat Mr. Pugh. He's hard. And I was like, yeah. I think I finally arrived in the Virgin Islands,
Yeah, if
And
I
and
man,
to this day, people say, "You're the one who won the car." How did you do it? But I think it was pride in seeing the community watching me because I felt like I could not let down the people in the community, you know, because I believe in, back in the day, a lot of people came here, get experience, and leave. And that was our mentality. You coming here to use us to get experience and leave, and you're not giving back to us.
yeah,
And
that's
my
true.
thing was, I'm giving back, and that's why when I was coaching and teaching, I try to instill in the guys that, number one, you got to get an education. You know, if you make it to the pros, and I would tell them, there's only 465 positions in the NBA, in the world,
That's true.
465. And you're not, at Atlantic Christian, you're not 7 feet tall. The odds are slim and none. But
That's true.
I don't want to destroy your dream. If you think you can do it, you can do it because I'm a product of that dream, you know.
That's true.
And I always try to instill it, but I always tell them, get an education. One of my classes, when Tim Duncan, his senior year, people were thinking that he should go pro and forget his senior year. As a class assignment, we wrote letters to Timmy to tell him to stay in school because I've always believed that stay in school, get your education, because if something happens, you got education to fall back on, you know.
Yeah,
So, and that started. I love teaching. I love young people, but that started me getting back in the community because along with that, I was department head. So I made sure our athletes had uniforms, equipment, transportation. I had fundraisers to make sure, this is after my coaching career because other people in my department wanted to coach. And I would let them go ahead and coach. So I did things like that. Also on the side, I worked at the village rehab for drug abuse and alcoholism for adults.
okay,
I did that
wow.
for 5 years, and I
Yes,
taught relapse prevention and spirituality classes at the rehab, letting them know that there's still a second chance. Just give up the drugs and follow the program that we set for you. You can have a wonderful life. Along with that, after that, I ran a group home. I was the director of the boys group home for 18 years. And these are boys who were court ordered, come from dysfunctional homes, St. Thomas and St. Croix,
yeah,
um, and they stayed with us. And I tried to tell them we want to have a family atmosphere. And you're going to go to school. We're going to check on your grades. It's not going to be like jail or anything like that. We want you to have fun. And we would check their homework every night. Oh, Mr. Bill, yeah, you got to do your homework. Yes, you have to do this assignment. We would be up nights making sure we get science projects done, homework done, things like that. Um, so, and it is in my last year, and I could see this coming because I'm from Baltimore City. I've been through police harassment, and I wanted to let them know that I want to prepare you when you leave here to the United States. You're a minority. You're going to catch help.
that's
And I
true.
want you to understand how to handle yourself. Because even my daughters know how to handle themselves, when it comes to law enforcement, and I would let them know. It was like George Floyd. You can't win. And when they would stop me, yes, sir. No, sir. Now, here's my ID, sir. I'm going to play basketball, sir. And at the group home, this is what I try to convey to them, along with the importance of education. So, now that I retired from that in education, and right now I work with island therapy. I work with adults in the STEP program with adults who have autism and Down syndrome. And what we do with that is we take adults in the community and we try to teach them skills so that hopefully uh, they can seek employment and hopefully they can become self-sufficient and independent because if something happens to their caregiver, what's going to happen to them? So we're teaching them skills how
That's
to
true.
take care of themselves. And that's what I'm doing now because for a while I was home, cutting the grass and doing this. And like I said, I'm not a home person, and I got hired there. Um, and that's what I'm doing now. And it's funny because wherever I go, I still see people say, Mr. Pugh, how you doing? Mr. Pugh, I remember basketball. I remember this because at Atlanta Christian, I used to show up early at the gym. And I hate to say this, but I used to put on shooting exhibitions and dunking exhibitions. And they would just sit in the bleachers, and I would just poop, poop, dunk, and all of that. And I even tell them I used to go to half court and flip it over my head.
Wow.
Nothing but that, So, but those days are over. But that's me still giving back to my community
Yeah, man.
because I think the Virgin Islanders, we're special, and we're very proud people. Hold our heads up high. We take care of each other, and that's what it's about. It's family. And
That's
that's
true.
what I love about the Virgin Islands, and that's why I'm here. And I might be Yankee, but sometimes I can speak Crucian, son.
Yeah, you sound like a Crucian.
I
So to me,
I
yeah.
I yeah. You know, so that's what's going on. So I'm
So
glad to be here.
yeah, man. I just want honest. I want to congratulate you, and I'm really honored to be able to give you your flowers now while you're alive. For all that you
Mhm.
do. Because you just list some of the stuff that you have done, and you have impacted so many lives, and you still doing it today. So, I definitely want to salute you and give you your flowers. How I'll go back a little bit. How was the transition growing up in the states in Baltimore, and then you move into the Virgin Islands with your girlfriend? How was that transition like as far
Well,
as like food?
it was. I thought you all were crazy. Because we get it done when we get it done. We show up when we show up. I mean, we're getting better now. But I was
Yeah,
like, I'm 15 minutes early for an interview, got a shirt and tie. It's hot as heck out here, and nobody's here. The door's not open, you know. And I'm sitting in the lines, and I'm like, people are talking, hi, how you doing? Good morning. It took me a while to adjust to good
mm,
morning, good night, good afternoon, because I'm looking at you like, what's so good about the morning where I've been waiting all day, but I love it because, it's respect, it's manners. And when I go
yeah,
back to the States, I'm going, good morning, everybody. And they look at me, I'm like, oh, I said, where I'm from, the Virgin Islands, we say good morning to everybody. And then
mm,
they're saying, "Oh, good morning, sir." You know, but it was I was so used to the city rat race, you know,
okay, yeah,
the hustle and bustle and all of that. And when I got here, it's like laid back, relax, don't worry about it. It's gonna get done, you know, and that's what I love about it. You just go down a few years, you know. That's all. You don't have to hustle right away. You don't have to compete like you do in the States, for positions for your job. Because I
yeah.
know somebody wants my job, stab you in the back. And well, I know as far as education, it wasn't like that. You know, I was
Okay.
welcomed. And because I was the type of teacher that I participate. You know, I wasn't one of those that say, here's the ball, go play. When we did the president's physical fitness test, I did more push-ups than you. I did more sit-ups than you. I said, come on, you can do this. I'm an old man. I
Yeah.
beat you the 100-yard dash, the 40-yard dash. You know, football, basketball, I play. Basketball, I would take the weakest five and play against the best five. I get the rebound, kick it out to him, shoot it again. Get another rebound, kick it out to him, shoot it again. And
More
we win. And
confidence.
those
Yeah.
those five guys, yeah, we beat them. Great job, And I go get them snacks. And the good guys, they get nothing. But Mr. P, I said, we beat you. But look, they had you. But we beat you. It was a team effort, you know.
Wow.
So things like that.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. We have a question here from Andre Titus Jr. Hi, Mr. Pugh. What have changed in the junior high school level sport compared to today during your time?
Um, Nothing has really changed because basketball is still basketball. I mean, we have now had the 3-point shot. We have the dunking rules. Volleyball is still the same. Track and field events are still the same. I think it now it's more serious. I
Mm.
think now because of the media and the exposure that we get, that students have role models to look up to and try to imitate. Because back in our days, we didn't have anybody. But now you look, you got Michael Jordan, you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you got Cuffy, you got Kevin Shepard who has made it big. You got people that say, I want to be like them. So I think that's the
That's
difference.
true.
I think they're more motivated because they can see, their heroes from the Virgin Islands.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. That's true. There is a lot more. So the youths them have a lot more opportunities to see
Right.
different individuals from the Virgin Islands representing.
Hmm.
How wa- how was your how was your experience the first time you going to the beach?
Well, I love the beach. I'm a certified scuba diver. You
Mm.
have we have the clearest waters in the world. You know, when I went, I could see my feet. You go to when you at Orlando, you go to the
Yeah.
beach, you can't see your feet. Am I
Yeah.
right?
No, you're right. That's why I don't
You
go.
stand in
So
the water, you stand in the water, and you can't see your feet down.
yeah,
But
yeah,
here,
that's true.
man, I'm like the clearest waters in the world. And I knew I was gonna become a scuba diver because of the marine life. I mean, I've seen sharks bigger than 8-foot sharks, the turtles, the marine life is just so wonderful. You know. Now, when my brother came down, he saw the seaweed. He ran out screaming, "Oh my God, there's snakes! There's snakes!" Like, yo, man, that's seaweed. You know. But the beaches, no. I loved the beaches when I first came. And back in the day, late 70s, early 80s, we family that was before families dead. We go to the beach and have barbecues and cookouts and tell
Yeah.
everybody we're at Kramer Park, we're at Cane Bay, we're at Haypenny. Come out here, get some food. That's what I
Mm.
used to do. That's how I got fed as a teacher. What y'all doing this weekend? How many people gonna be here? I'm gonna be there. And I sit there and say, "Oh yeah, your son is doing great. Have a plate of food, rice and beans, Miss All right, thank you." That's what I would do, you know. But yeah, the beaches. That's what That's what we miss now because
Yeah.
we're busy being in the house. We're busy worrying about crime and all that, which it elevated. And I say elevated because of technology and the media and all of that. You know because you see it, so you try to imitate it, thinking, you get these crazy ideas. Hey, they did that on TV. Maybe I can try it. They did that in the movie. Maybe I can try it.
Yeah. This is from Tyra Alec. Asks
You,
how was
I remember your team, Tyrone. Right? That's right. We didn't make it to the finals, though. We made it to the finals, but we didn't get up the hump, Ujima. That's right. Tyrone Allen was a great athlete, run on the Central, killed him. Nice college career. Yes, Tyrone. I remember. I remember. Yes.
how was your experience playing with them?
Yes, it was real. I was
Eh,
the old man. I was the old man. You know,
Carrying the young
I,
ones.
I hated passing it back out to him. They should have just dumped it into the old man and just let me post up. But it was an entirely different game. That's when the game started getting faster. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah.
Yeah. So was it Philip the one who was scared of the seaweed? That's from Carrion.
Yeah, yeah, my brother, yeah. Now, see, growing up, my brother was my hero because they
Mm.
didn't have a lot of basketball on TV or anything. I mean, back in the day, you had black and white. You had a clothes hanger, which some people know. You connect it to the TV and you hold the clothes hanger. They tell you, stay there, don't move, so you can see the picture. Now, you're behind the TV holding this clothes hanger while they're watching TV, you know. But my brother, Philip, he went to Morgan State. Um, he was with the Bullets when they went to Baltimore Bullets. Then he went to
Okay.
the Capitol Bullets, and now to the Wizards. Played with Marvin Webster, 7-footer center, drafted with the New York Knicks. Uh, but my brother, he wasn't in shape, and he just said, I can't do this. I just don't want it. And I can understand it. And he came down to visit me, and he said, "Can I get a job?" I said, "Yeah, education, they'll hire you." And he came back, started teaching, and my brother is the best elementary school teacher in the Virgin Islands. I mean, everybody who knows my brother knows he prepared them well. He was funny, serious. Um, but I got Teacher of the Year in physical at Atlanta Christian, and my speech was about him because I felt so bad that
Wow.
he didn't get it, never gotten it, and he taught at Lou Marco, and he was my hero, my brother. Him, Sam Brown, Jay Watson, uh, all great ball players, and they won the Baltimore City championship. And they would be on the radio, and I just wanted to be like him. Now I have another brother, Wesley. Uh, the Dallas Cowboys wanted him. He was all Ivy League defensive back, but he's a doctor. He said back in the 70s, I make more money with as a doctor than getting my body beat up playing pro football, which is true.
It's true.
Because they weren't $1 million contracts, back then. So, but they were my heroes because that's all I saw. And my brother Philip, he would take me when I was little to play basketball with him, and they would win. And when they had such a big lead, then he would come out the game and put me in. So, but no, my brothers, they're my heroes. I love my brothers to death.
Did you
They're
have
great
any?
athletes.
Do you have any? You have any sisters? No.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm a triplet. Myself, Deborah, and Diane, and I have two older sisters. Who's Candace is here, uh, and she loved the Virgin Islands. She decided to come back and stay, but she's retired. She worked for my wife now, Crawford Insurance, for a while, but she's retired. And and my wife, her son, Christopher Floyd, who played in the league. Everybody knows Chris. Chris could shoot, and I hate to admit it. He had a better jump shot than me.
I was just about
You
to
know,
ask you that.
he could shoot. They called him Chris Lights Out Floyd, and him.
Nice nickname.
Um, uh, they all came from Country Day. The Legends. They won the championship one year, and it was him, the Neltrip, all the guys from Country Day. They stuck together, and they won the championship, I believe, one year. And but he could shoot. But he went to Springfield College. And he's now
Okay.
teaching at Country Day. Um, but I'm glad I think I might have had an influence on him going to Springfield. When I first met his mother, I would bring him to Atlanta Christian Gym and she would watch us play. And I'm going to beat him up. And, I would run over to her and, say, I won the game, I get a kiss. He's, no, let's play again, let's play again. Uh, he worked on his game. He worked on his game. Uh, but he's at Country Day now. I believe he's going to be the athletic director. And he
Nice.
coached basketball, football. He coached flag football, soccer. He's doing a good job there. I'm trying to get him to come over to the public school system, but he said he's thinking about it. He's thinking about
He's thinking about it.
it.
Have you? Did you see the documentary on PG County?
No, no.
It was on. It was on Showtime because
Uh-huh.
you talking about Baltimore. Baltimore is known for having so many great basketball
Yeah,
players,
yeah, yeah,
legendary basketball
yeah,
players. I know like New York gets the accolades or
yeah,
the publicity, but
yeah,
Baltimore have produced a lot of
yeah. Yes,
basketball players.
well, Bugsy, Bugsy's from Baltimore.
Yeah,
Estelle, um, uh, went to Syracuse, the freshman. What was his name?
Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony. He went to
Yeah,
Walbrook.
yeah,
Yeah, all
Kevin
those guys.
Durant. Yeah, Kevin Durant. All
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, all those guys. They were after my time, but during my time, we had Skip Wise.
Skip
He got
Wise. Yeah,
involved in drugs. Went to jail.
yeah.
Uh, Anthony Hopkins, Parnell Hopkins. He went to University of Maryland. He didn't make it in the pros. Um, we had a few others. Reggie Street out of Northwest in my school. I mean, I was surrounded by some great ball players. That's why I was just a late bloomer. And even on Facebook, they talk about the past and the present. And I want to type in, you might have heard about David Pugh from Springfield, but they always talking about the high school players who were all state, all city, and how they, improved and became all Americans or whatever on the college level. But I'm sure they've heard about me because I was always in the newspaper. And that was one of the things my father, he never saw me play. We have a newspaper called the Baltimore Afro, which is a black-owned newspaper that talks about minority stories all the time. But I was always in that newspaper on the front page of sports. And I know he died, but he never saw me play. But I know he was proud of me, and he read about me to say, that's my son did really well, But I think the greatest accomplishment was that I did get my bachelor's and my master's from Springfield College, and I think I might have back then was the only black basketball player to graduate with a master's degree, And back in those days, you were only allowed two minority ball players on the team.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
yeah, that's it.
Man.
I mean, whenever we played different schools, they would have their two minorities, and you would stay. And like at Springfield College, all the minorities would sit together. They would say, "I know he can play," and you could hear them in the stands doing layup. I know number 22 can play. He's going to start. This and that. But that was the rule back then. I hate to say it, but your haircut had to be cut a certain way. Couldn't have a mustache, coat and tie. I remember my first interview. The director of information. He said, "I'm gonna tell you what to say." I said, "Well, man, I can do interviews." He said, "Well, I'm just gonna tell you what to say." And as soon as they started the interview and he saw me speaking and that I could, articulate and all of that, he was like, "You're good to go," because I knew how to handle myself. But back in the day, we were stereotyped that we couldn't speak, we couldn't handle interviews, things of that nature. And believe it or not, then the trend started. What got me the most was Duke, because Duke always had two or three ball players, and then all of a sudden, Duke has a lot of brothers on their team. And I said, Duke started recruiting brothers. Times have changed.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. How you have mentioned your mom and your dad. How was your mom and your dad when you was a kid? Growing up, were they strict parents? Were they laid back?
Well, my mother and father were divorced, so my mother raised us, and it was always, education, you know, education. She was a good reader, she worked for the city of Baltimore, but it was always, you got to get an education. And to me, I love school. I love school because when I got to school, I was around people, friends. I was a gym rat. So I would just go to the gym. Like I said, in high school, I got cut from football every year. And I know they talked about me. Oh, here come Pugh again. You're going to get cut. As a senior, I tried out for football. Now, they weren't going to beat me,
Yeah.
So, but from there, from football, I get cut. I ran cross country, Then then the next year when I got cut from football again, I played soccer. I was a soccer goalie. I was an all-state soccer goalie in Maryland, in Baltimore City. I was offered scholarships as a soccer goalie. And I would Boston College, Boston University, and I would say, if you let me play basketball, I will play soccer for you. They said, no, this is a soccer scholarship. We don't want basketball. I played after basketball season, I played lacrosse. Baseball was my game, but my brother Wesley played lacrosse. So I played lacrosse. I was an all-state goalie in lacrosse. I had scholarships for lacrosse to play. University of Maryland, but I wanted basketball. And when I went to Springfield College, I was named freshman of the year because I played JV basketball, JV football, varsity basketball, and varsity lacrosse. I played varsity lacrosse for 2 years at Springfield. And we played Division I schools, We played Brown University, we played Cornell, we played University of Maryland, we played Adelphi. I mean, we played Division I schools, and I was honorable mention All American in lacrosse. And then I decided, do I want to play lacrosse or do I want to focus on basketball? And I decided, basketball. That's what I want to do. And that's when I really focused on basketball. Decided this is what I want to do, and try to pursue a career in basketball. Because by then I was an All-American. I had my honors. So, that's when I just said, this is it. Basketball is my main thing.
Wow, you were super talented, man.
Well, I think that's all part of being a physical education teacher, a jack of all trades, master of none. When I went to a Catholic school through the 8th grade, then my mother couldn't afford it no more, so I had to go to a junior high school. So in junior high, as a 9th grade, was the first time I saw a gym teacher, a physical education teacher. They told me, you got to take gym. I'm like, what's gym? And Mr. Turpin, that was his name. We did basketball for 6 weeks. I was like, oh, this is fun. Then we did soccer for 6 weeks. I'm like, wow. Then we did baseball, softball, track and field. I told myself, that's what I want to do. I want to be a physical education teacher because that looks like a fun job,
Yeah.
And it's always been fun. I mean, people know me that I would wear, they're going to talk about me now because back in the day, the coach's shorts were the poom shorts. But they were coach's shorts. But I would have on my red coach's shorts, my red shirt, my red sneakers, my blue shorts. And I said, Mr. Pugh got on poom shorts. But in college, that's what the coaches wore, And but I was always decked out. I look good as a coach,
Got to look good. You got to look good.
Had to look good,
We have a question here from Andrea Titus Jr. What do you think will help the youths in St. Croix to overcome this youth violence?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one, man. Because back in the day, they weren't that many guns. They're getting hit some kind of way. But back in the day, they weren't that many guns. Or back in the day, Mr. Titus, that when you fight it out, it was done. And I would tell them, you all have a saying when you call yourself a mother, what? You ready to fight. And you get the son out and bucks your eye, And it's like, and I would tell the big guys in class, punch him in the face. He won't mess with you. I said, because that's how it was in Baltimore. If a little person got in your face, you punch him in the face, you're not messing with him anymore because you get your butt kicked. But now, those little guys, they pack it. So they're not scared of nothing. I think like right now on the news, in the paper, the youth, they're finding them jobs. And that's what you need for the summertime. Find them jobs, let them make some money, let them feel how it is to work a little bit, earn your own money, buy what you want. That way, you don't have to get it from mommy and daddy. I think that helps out a lot. I think programs like possibly, after school activities, man. I grew up with recreation centers.
Yeah.
The gyms opened up. That you could come in there from 5 o'clock after dinner to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night and play basketball. You could play badminton. You could play volleyball. You had board games. You had pool tables. If they had something to do in the evening, that might help out because that's how I grew up. But the schools are closed in the evening. What do we have? We have nothing. They can't go nowhere, And I think that's one of the problems also.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. They definitely need some rec centers, where kids could go. We had a question here from Carrion. You were very persistent. What would you say help you to overcome the rejection of not being picked for football, but keep going back and having the courage to try other sports?
As a teacher, I never worried about the grade, because I can always give you a test, but you can't grade effort. You can grade effort. And when you don't give me effort, it's like you're going to quit. Because anybody that knows me knows that quitting is not in my vocabulary. And that's what I always taught them. Quitting is not in my vocabulary. The principal Liber, he's down at, I forget what school he's at. He came back, he's a principal. Leroy Liber. He came back, he said, Mr. Pugh. Uh-oh. He came back and said, Mr. Pugh, one thing you told me was, don't quit. And I've never quit. That has always stuck with me. So, I mean, that's what always stuck with me. Just don't quit. No matter what happens, just try again. Now, don't get me wrong. The NBA still haunts me. It bothers me, but it wasn't meant to be. God has a plan, had for me to be here. I used to tell people, I'm here to teach junior high school physical education, talk to students, give them direction, a boys group home, kids that are, come from dysfunctional backgrounds, give them guidance. I was assistant principal. I did that for a year at Atlantic Christian, which I loved. But the guide, to prepare them for high school. And it's kind of like, I kind of knock God for giving me this life, because like that's my plan, to be in the Virgin Islands and do this. And it's wonderful. I mean, I'm giving back and all of that, but it's like the pros, you always wonder. And like my mother told me, she said, it wasn't a lot of money back then, and chances are you would be dead probably by now, because what they do in the pros, the party and all of that, and the trouble with this and that. I'm like, yeah, you might be right, But I think with me, it's just I don't quit. I'm just not a quitter. Quitting, like I tell my students, quitting is not in our vocabulary. You're going to give me effort. And I used to grab a student by the arm and make them walk faster. You didn't have to jog, but you're going to walk a little faster, And at the end, I said, hey, I'm going to give you a C because you gave me effort. I'm not giving you the A or the B, but you worked the C. And look at the bright side. You passed. And they would say, okay,
Yeah. You ever thought about introducing lacrosse to the Virgin Islands?
Oh, we thought about that, but lacrosse is a physical sport.
Yeah.
And they have, if you hit them on the arm, it's called a slash. And I can see that pow, pow, and the stick checks and the balls are hard, But
okay.
we thought about it, but it was just because of equipment. What happened was we had a choice between that and when Atlantic Christian first opened up in Princess, gymnastics. And they gave us brand new gymnastics equipment, except they gave us no mats. We couldn't get no mats from anywhere. So if you fall off the rings, because it had a portable ring, you hit the floor. So that went to waste because we had no mats, But the lacrosse, it would have been different. I thought about it at times, but no, stick to the basics.
Were you ever interested in baseball?
Yeah. I was a baseball player. Let me tell you, I played in high school. Well, I was supposed to play baseball, but I played lacrosse. But when I came to the VI, I played in the Puerto Rico Friendship League.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it's a softball, but
yeah, I remember that league.
Yeah, but I was a shortstop for an all Puerto Rican Hispanic team. Didn't speak no Spanish, but I was the starting shortstop. So I had skills.
Yeah, they put the best athletes on shortstop. Yeah,
I had skills, and I could hit the ball. I led that team in home runs.
Wow.
And then I played with the Escogitos, the Pumas, and then we played that slow pitch, that drop pitch out of Canagator.
Yeah, slow pitch.
Yeah, we played with Roger Bell, Hank Jones, myself, Buck Joyner, who coached Manor School. We played in that league, and we would beat teams 55-2, 53-4, because we would just hit home runs. Ray DeFreitas, who was off to play baseball.
Yeah.
And I watched Ray play center field.
Nice.
Ray could play. But yeah, then they asked me to play in the 40 and over baseball league, but I was away from the game too long that I decided not to play. But baseball was my passion. It really was.
Talking about growing up in Baltimore, have you seen the Wire?
Yes, yeah, it was part of the streets that I used to stomping ground. Pennsylvania Avenue, North
Mm,
Avenue, Charles Street. Yeah, that's how it was. Say the truth. That's how it was, and that's why instead of being in that part of life, you go to the recreation center or you go home. Your parents made sure you were home. You were on the porch when the street lights come on. Your butt better be sitting on that porch. You know, so Baltimore's a rough city. Um,
yeah.
Growing up as a light skinned black man, it was pretty rough. And that's why I hate to say it. Now I think times have changed, but I say if I have kids, I'd rather have girls. That way, if my girls are light skinned, then I can catch as much slack as a light skinned male would catch. You know, and but my girls are they're cruising Puerto Ricans. You know, so they get both worlds because
Yeah.
when they were with scholarships, I would apply for Hispanic scholarships and African American scholarships because you know they're cruising Puerto Ricans. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
so
true. That's
they
true
got the
still.
best of both worlds. You know,
Yeah, they definitely do. And you, how was you being you being a dad and your daughter playing sports? How was that like? What type of parent were you?
uh, well, I remember Kelly. She played volleyball for Country Day, and she said, "I want to be really good." I said, "Well, you're either going to be great or you're not going to be great." She said, "I want to be great." So I took her to Atlanta Christian Gym, and we started some drills. Gave her water break, started some more drills. She said, "Dad, I can't do this." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "You're working me too hard. I don't want to be great." And she walked out the gym.
Mm,
Now, Tracy, before she went to the complex, and I told you this before, she was at Country Day, and Tracy, she tried to be like her dad. She played basketball. And Tracy's 6 feet. And
oh,
Tracy's playing for Country Day. Tracy has heart. And I told you before earlier, but as you know, you can't teach heart. And
that's
that
true.
girl was just bust her tail playing. And I think Country Day won the championship that year. And Tracy, she said, put her arm around me. She said, "Dad," and looked me in my eyes. She said, "I don't want to go into the WNBA." I said, "Oh." She said, "I'm just going to go to college, become a doctor, and make money." I said, but baby. And she said, "That's what I want to do. I'm not playing anymore. I retired." I went into the other room and I cried. I said, "God." And I wiped away my tears because I said,
Yeah,
number one thing is education. And she knew what she wanted to do. And I went back. I said, "Okay, baby, okay." And, and she was a ninth grader then. Then she went to the complex. She didn't try out for complex, didn't play no more basketball. Not yet, complex. And the thing about she was in this special program at complex, but yet she had to go to Central for her advanced honors classes.
oh
And I
wow.
really didn't understand the program, because I
Yeah,
mean, they had a nice program, but Central really had the honors program because everyone was at Central taking honor courses, you know.
yeah.
But she did well, and like I said, to this day, Cornell, Hopkins, and Columbia, so she's doing well.
That's awesome. Uh, now, I want to ask you this.
But you know what? Now my wife's son, not to cut you off, he
No, no,
he
you
played
okay?
with Red Wine at Country Day, and we were
Red
sitting
wine.
home. They had a break, and the Martin Luther King tournament. And she was tired of him sitting around. She said, "Chris," she said, "David, I want you to work out Chris." I said, "Okay." I said, "Chris, you gonna do everything I say?" He said, "Yeah." So going to Atlanta Christian and Princess at the bottom of Morningstar Hill to the top is 1 mile. So we're driving. We lived in Lorraine. And I said, "Get out." He said, "What?" I said, get out the car. He said, for what? I said, you're going to jog up Morningstar Hill to the top, and then we go to Atlanta. He got out, jogged at the top of the hill. We drive to Atlanta, and we work out, drill after drill. Next day, same thing. For those 2 weeks before the Martin Luther King tournament, that's what he did. He went to the Martin Luther King tournament. Country Day lost, but he got the MVP. He outscored everyone. I mean, because of those workouts. And that's when I really saw, and he was the only person, that really listened. Now, Kevin Shepard, my man Kevin, which I beat Kevin one-on-one, he says he's never been beat. I mean, I'm the only one that beat him. Now, Kevin, when he was going to the pros, we worked out a little bit. And I said, I knew Dennis Rodman especially was rebounding. And I told Kevin, I said, Kevin, if you step across half court and let that ball fly, nobody does that in the NBA. I said, you got everything that it takes except you need something special. So if you can take that 3-pointer out, extend it, and just let it go, you're going to catch some eyes. And Kevin would work on it, and then he would ease back in and shoot his jumpers, and we work passing the balls. And that's what I tried to tell him, but he was working on his regular NBA 3-pointer, which, he had a good career and all that. But I think if he would took me a little more serious, because he might remember that conversation, just, do like Steph Curry does now, because he was before Steph Curry.
That's true.
It would have been, Kevin Shepard instead of Steph Curry, I think. I don't know.
Facts, yeah.
But we did have a conversation like that.
Wow. I was gonna ask you that incident with your daughter when you said you went to the room and crying and stuff. Did you blame yourself? Did you feel like, man, I might have pushed her too hard? I might have put too much on her?
Yeah, because basketball has never been fun with me. I take it serious, and that's why everybody tells me when they played against me, they tell me how I hurt them. But that's how it was in the old days. I gotta hurt you. I gotta make you come near me, I'm gonna hurt you because I want to get to you psychologically.
I got you. Yeah.
I want you to think that if you come in that lane, I'm gonna catch your elbow because when I go through the lane, I'm protecting myself. My arms are protecting me, And when I play, I'm like this, and you see my elbow, but I'm saying, ref, I'm trying to catch the ball. But I'm not trying to catch the ball. I'm trying to get you that little elbow right there because all I need is 3 inches. And I'm going to hurt you. And that's what it was about, So, but yeah, I think I pushed her. Because I don't have that middle ground. Even right now, I play golf, and I would show up at the gym to show you how I am. For 30 years, I would show up at the gym and shoot jumpers. 33 years, still shoot jump shots at the gym because that was my workout. I wasn't raised on lifting weights, and I watched Kevin and Cuthbert. They come home every summer. They're in the weight room because I be working at the camp. They be in the weight room pumping. Then that wasn't me. Back in our days, weights weren't good for you. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Messed up your timing and all that. Threw off your jump shot. So me, it was just shooting. Working on my quickness and all that stuff. And even now, since I started playing golf, I want to be good. I'm not good, but I want to be good that I hit 25 to 50 golf balls a day, trying to find that golf swing. I've been a Canagator. I've been in there center field, hitting wedge shots to home plate. And people yell, that's not a golf course, Mr. Pugh. And I've been in the middle just hitting 50 balls to home plate, pick them up, go to work, But wherever I go, I just work on my swing because I want to be good,
Yeah.
And that's my problem, That's my problem. And today I played and lost. I missed a 4-foot putt to win all the money, and I missed it.
Oh, come on, man. Yeah, man, that's not good.
I know. But that's golf. And I watch Tiger Woods. He'll hit a bad shot just like I hit a shot. And I said to myself, I can do that. He did the same mistake, except,
Yeah.
he makes it 99.9% of the time, he's hitting a great shot. Me, 80% of the time, I'm hitting a great shot. It's that 20% that I'm narrowing it down to, 15, 10%. But it's a challenging game. A lot of people say, it's no fun. But if you ever, it's like basketball. If you shoot that one shot and nothing but net, and you hear that swish, you say, ooh, I can do this. And with golf, you hit that straight shot, and it just goes straight and long. It got you. You
That's
say, I can
feeling.
do this.
That's
Yep.
feeling. Yeah. With golf being such a mental game, and you're coming from being a basketball player, how have you transitioned into golf? Do you still take that basketball mentality, or golf has forced you to kind of change your approach?
Basketball used to talk a lot of trash.
Yeah.
You didn't hear it, or you might hear it, but I talked a lot of trash. But my game would back me up. Golf is so boring that I talk trash. I'm like the entertainer. You know,
Okay.
I just talk trash. And when it's time to be quiet, I be quiet. But after that, you miss a bad shot, I'll cuss you out and tell you how bad you were. But I entertain them. We tell jokes, But yeah, but the golf pro, Kenny Peace at the Buccaneer, he gave me some lessons. He said, it's mental. You got to come here serious, and it's like maneuvering an obstacle course. And he
Yeah.
said, it's like you have to hit a golf ball in such a way at a certain part of the field where it's like you making a layup. So I've learned that if I hit a golf ball within 100 yards of the green, I have my approach club that will hit it 100 yards. So my goal now is to get within 100 yards of the green, and I know I can make it to the green. So I'm now learning, course management, which a lot of people
Oh, okay.
don't know. So I know what my clubs do. It's like basketball. I know at the free throw line, that's a 15-foot jump shot. No problem. Top of the key, that's a 20-foot jump shot. Money in the bank. Jump shot from the 3-point field free throw line, money in the bank. That's why a golf shot from 100 yards out, money in the bank. But I got to get there. And then once I get there, it comes down to putting. Got to putt.
Wow, interesting. I never thought about it that way with golf, but that makes total sense now. That make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned, you mentioned Tegan. Was there any? Can you list some more basketball player, VI athletes that you coached
You know,
or
I,
mentor?
right. When I first came, I know Fila, not Fila. He was the first big man. What was his name? But no, I'm bad with the names because, once you leave me, you got to remember, I taught for 33 years, 100, almost 135 students a day.
Yeah.
So, you do the math because in physical education, it wasn't about teaching 27 kids. We had 35 kids, one class, 20 the next class, 33 the next class. According to the union contract, you just could not exceed 135 a day. So, they would give us sometime overload, sometime less, like that. So, like Craig Williams, great athlete. He went on to play overseas and all that. He's back now.
Yeah.
We worked out sometimes. Craig and the guys with him, Craig always shot threes. And I would beg, because I'm old school. Craig, go inside. We're going to dump it inside to you. He'll start off inside, back outside, banging threes, banging threes. And that was his game. But back then, I'm old school. You work it inside out, inside out. Uh, Tim Duncan, when I first saw Timmy, it was at Grand Union. He was about 6'8", 6'9". I see this guy. I said, yo, man, you play basketball? No, sir. I said, what you do, man? I swim. I said, you should play basketball. No, sir. I said, all right, man. I said, you're a big guy, man. You can go places. Yes, sir. Very polite. And then when we played St. Dunstan, and I think Oli was coaching them, Oli didn't use Timmy the right way because Atlantic Christian would kick St. Dunstan's butt. And after the game, I would go shake Timmy's hand. I said, Timmy, let me give you some advice because you're going to go places. I said, always remember you are a point guard. So that means you always handle the ball, you can always shoot jump shots. Don't listen to people say dump it inside. Always work as if you're a point guard. Because as I got older, that's how I felt all big men should approach the game, like you're a point guard. And but yeah, after playing with him, beating up on him, but we Donald Bell, I remember Donald. And he played over in Puerto Rico. He played a little professional. But Tyrone Atlick, they went on to play well. I had a list here. Let me see if I got it here. But yeah, but there were so many though. That I'm not too good with the names, and I apologize for that because it's as if once you leave me, focus on the next crew, the next batch, next batch. In junior high, after a while, Atlantic Christian went to middle school, and we're 7th, 8th graders, so we weren't getting talent anymore. Once you got to Central, then Lockhart, they would start to develop the talent. Okay. And I remember the faces, and I would go to the games. Hey, Mr. Pugh, this, and this. But yeah, I apologize for that.
Oh no, that's okay, man. Trust me, I'm in the same boat with you. I can't remember a lot of people's names, so I know how that goes. You have met and crossed paths with more people than me, so I just can't imagine.
Yeah, to this day, Mr. Pugh basketball, Mr. Pugh this, Mr. Pugh that. You remember me? And they would say, "You remember me?" And I say, "Atlantic Christian, you were my best student." And they say, "Yeah, okay." And I always tell them, "You were my best student."
Yeah, I like that one. So you being involved in sports for so many years. We talked about having like rec centers and stuff, more after school activities for the youths and stuff, so they could shy away from the violence. What are some do you have any ideas where kids could get seen more to achieve like scholarships, more opportunities to get their name out?
Yeah, well, yeah. Do you watch Netflix Basketball University?
Yeah.
Those guys are struggling, and the thing about it is they got all their eggs in one basket, NBA.
Yeah.
And they talk about the one of the guys, Joe something, I forget his name, the big man.
Joe, yeah. Oh man, I forgot his name. Joe. He is.
But he has a bad attitude.
Yeah, amazing player, but bad attitude.
And coaches, they were ready to take someone not as talented, but with a good attitude, to someone with all the talent in the world with a bad attitude. And but they're average ball players. Nothing's exceptional. Now, they look at statistics, and that's what I used to look at. And I tell ball players, basketball, I average, look at 19 points a game, 10 rebounds a game. Yeah, the 10 rebounds I average a game, you got to remember is when there's a foul and you're shooting a free throw, I make sure I go down on the block. Because if you miss that free throw and I get the rebound, that counts as a rebound. That doesn't count that while you're in transition, they shoot, you get a rebound. No. On stats, it says 11 rebounds. If you get normally you would average 3 rebounds off the blocks. Okay? If you look at basketball, people miss about 3 free throws, throughout the whole game, and you get 3 rebounds off. Those are easy rebounds to get. That means you got to grab 7 rebounds to have double-figure rebounds. Now, my team at Springfield College, when you go down for a layup, people stop running. Oh, I'm running behind you because if you miss that layup, that's a rebound and 2 points. You'll get one of those about once every 3 games, but it goes down as a rebound and 2 points. So I figured out with statistics how to get my statistics, how to increase them by the way the people I used to play with, my college teammates. And that's how, my game improved quite a bit. And because at the end of the game, coach said, Pugh, you got, 20 points, you got 13 rebounds. I'm thinking to myself, well, 4 of them were from the free throw line that they missed. 2 were because of layups that the guys missed, but that never crossed their minds. So, and I try to tell people, look at ways to increase your statistics, because if they can't see you play, they go by statistics. You're a baseball player. If you hit the ball 3 times out of 10, you're a Hall of Famer. Am I
Yeah,
lying?
you're right.
Look
That's
at it
true.
out of three at bats. You have to hit it 3 times. You're a Hall of Famer. Look at those stats. In basketball, if you make 3 jumpers out of 10, you're on the bench. You know, so you got to
Yeah,
look at your stats. And how to increase your stats and prepare your practice sessions. You know, to increase your stats. But because we don't, and a lot of times you can make videos, but you can believe coaches are getting a lot of videos from players, from walk-ons.
yeah,
You know, so coaches are not coming to the Virgin Islands to fly here, see a ball player, and fly out. They're not going. That's just not happening.
yeah.
So my advice would be statistics, contacting, write letters to coaches, um, and see if they have tryouts. See if they have open tryouts. Most schools do have that.
Yeah.
And when you get that chance, you better capitalize on it. Because at Springfield College, when I got that chance, I capitalized on it. You're gonna get one chance, and you got to be prepared when that opportunity comes. They say luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And when that lucky moment comes up, you better be ready. Because if you're not, it may never come again. So I mean, it's tough, but that's how I see it, especially nowadays.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. Nowadays, it's real tough nowadays because, I mean, the sport is so popular, man. They're getting kids from all over the world now,
Right.
So,
And see, that's the trend they're moving to,
yeah,
European.
European, yeah.
Now, back when I played, the majority of the ticket holders were Caucasian. All right. In the NBA back in my days, they had no more than 4 black ball players, if that. Because the ticket holders were saying, and I heard this from Kevin Lott coaches, why am I paying all this money to watch all these guys play ball? I want to see people with like me, and it goes on. But now basketball is such a billion-dollar business. They don't care who they play, they don't care no more. And because we are infiltrating the league so much, notice it's more Europeans, more Europeans, more Europeans. That's the trend that's going to. Also, with the Caliban, they had a workout that you're invited, but if you can't bench press 250 pounds as a point guard, your tryout was done. I
Wow.
can't, I can't bench press 250. I mean, that's the bar they raised. Was it to get rid of some players back in the days? I don't know. But it's like, hey, bench press 250. But you can't bench press 250, you're not strong enough. We don't want you. Tryouts are done. So I mean, it happens, it happens. But as an
It's tough.
athlete, you got to figure out the game and how to play the game, and it's the game of life. As minorities, as human beings, these Virgin Islanders, the game of life, we have to figure it out. All right. And we have to know what the rules are, you know, and go according to the rules and be successful. You know, there was this book, The Spook That Sat by the Door, listening, heard how to do this, and this, got his own business. I believe, I say, don't let them know you're crossing the street, because they're going to try to stop you. You just get across
Yeah.
the street any kind of way you can. And when you get across, I succeeded, I made it. But that's all part of life. That's how it is.
That is true. That is true. Which, if you had to compare yourself, if you had to compare a player from the Virgin Islands to your game when you growing up, who would you compare that person to?
Ooh, I don't know because you've been growing up, so not my college career, professional career.
I would put you can include your college or professional career.
Okay,
So
yeah,
yeah,
because growing
makes
up,
it easier.
yeah, right now, my college and professional career, I had talent, but you got to understand, I averaged 19, 19, 20 points a game. I averaged, 10, 11 rebounds a game. Um, I don't know. I don't know who played that has those kind of statistics, and who was a good ball handler, who could drive to the basket. I could get assists, but very seldom I would get a few assists. but but I would say, weapon Trimmingham, because he was about an inch tall. Well, when he was at Central and played in the league, I would say Trimmingham because
Okay.
yeah, he had a decent outside shot. He could rebound. He could shoot. He was very coachable. Yeah, and he played my position. You know, and he was quiet. He was humble because you know that's I think as a test to ask basketball players if you were good. If they say yeah I was good, that's a tough sign they weren't that good. But when you ask me if I was good, I would tell you I was okay. I was a decent ball player.
Decent, yeah.
That's what I tell you. You know, um, but yeah, weapon he was good. You know,
This I'm not sure if this is a comment or a question, but Carrie Ann Shepard wants to know if you're the reason why Kevin didn't like to pass.
probably because why should I pass it to somebody to miss it when I can just do it myself and make it?
Yeah.
The chances of me making it two is a high probability than me passing it off to you. But Kevin was a point guard, so his job was to penetrate, and Kevin would pass it. But once you see that his big men aren't producing, his attitude was like, "Why should I give it to you to miss when I can do it myself?" And
Yeah.
and and I can't blame him because that's what we do. We're going to give you a chance, but once you mess up one time, I'm not coming back to you. You had your opportunity. Now you got to carry your butt inside and get a rebound. That's what you got to do.
Did through your career, involving in sports, did you get any type of advice that stuck with you for the rest of your life from any type of coach or player or even a parent?
Well, one of the advice came from my mother. Got to get an education. You got to get an education. One of the highlights at Springfield College, and this is advice from my mother. Was that I was walking across campus and Dr. Ed Stites, he stopped me and said, "Oh, David Pugh, you finishing up your undergrad?" And I said, "No, Dr. Stites, I'm in graduate school getting my master's degree." And the look on his face, that here I am, a minority and a basketball player, had a good career getting a master's degree. And that's unheard of, you
Yeah.
know. But like my mother told me, and I told my daughters would get upset because when we argue with me, I said, "What degree you got?" "You got a kindergarten degree. You got an elementary degree. You got a junior high degree. You're working on your high school degree. I got all of those and I got a bachelor's and a master's. So until you get a PhD, you can't tell me nothing because I'm telling you how to make it." And I would shut them up, shut them right up. And now, since Tracy got her PhD, I'm trying to figure out a way how I can go back and get my PhD. But that's not going to happen. But Kelly has admitted to me, and she said, Dad, I hate to tell you this, but growing up, 99% of the time you were right. You know, we fought you, but you were guiding us through life so that we could be successful. And I was like, that's my job. That's my job. And they're successful. They're great. And that's how I tried to teach. And that's how I tried to coach, to be successful and to navigate your way through life. And you're gonna have ups and downs, and you're gonna kick to the curb, but you gotta get back up and keep fighting and keep fighting. And I always tell them, you as Virgin Islanders, you're special because you guys, you got big time fighting you. I said, Statesiders and Yankees, we're quitting. That's the end of it. But you guys, because I honestly believe that, you're from the Virgin Islands, and wherever you go or whatever you do, you have to represent.
That's true.
Because and everybody's got the flag. You see your flag. Kelly got her flag in the background of her house. Tracy got her flag, her VI flag. I said, because you got to represent.
That's true.
You're special.
This is a question here from Basic, Coach Basic Gonzalez.
Basic, all right, Basic.
Yeah. Shout out Basic. Big up.
I remember playing against Basic for a while and coaching.
Yeah. What's your top 5 Elena Christian basketball players?
I don't know. Basic. I really don't know, Basic, because you read my players, but I know Tyrone Ashley, Craig Williams. They're probably the top 2 that I know off the bat. Fifi, remember Fifi? What was Fifi? He played. He came out of Atlantic Christian. Fifi was the first 7-footer, and he went and played in Puerto Rico. Fifi was a good ball player. But those 3 that I can name off the top of my head, Dale Henry. I remember Dale. He was a role player, but Dale was coachable. I don't think he made sense with his team, but when I see Dale now, he gives me hugs. Mr. Pugh, you were my best coach. And see, that's what makes me feel good, though, because Moon Williams, he was a good point guard. He went on to Central and played in the men's league. Those guys, they make me feel good when I go back and when I see them and they tell me how they had a great time and all that, and I helped them in life.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah.
Basically, also mentioned what about O'Neal Thompson?
Oh yeah, yes. O'Neal was a good ball player too. But see, from me, then I just saw the beginning of their talent. I just kind of opened up Pandora's box. And then from there, Basic and Lockhart and those guys, they groomed them, got them prepared for the next level. And that's why, like at my level, they were at all just to see me play because I'm 6'5", but when they were with me, it's like Mr. Pugh is huge. Now they see me, it's like Mr. Pugh, you're not that big no more. But you gotta remember, you were junior high. Yeah. I would not let a junior high school student beat me one-on-one, outshoot me one-on-one. You're a junior high. And that's what they're but their attitude is, I can beat you, Mr. Pugh. I'm better than you, which is great, but you were junior high and I was pro, and that'll never happen. And it's just like now, all of these guys are grown and big, and even Basic would not let a junior high school student beat him one-on-one. And just like you don't even have a basketball career, but your pride will not allow a junior high to beat you in basketball.
Yeah.
Or I'll play you in baseball. Right?
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
How during teaching at Elena, how was lunch league like?
Oh, the lunch league now, you saw talent in lunch league because some of the guys, they were motivated because They didn't make the team. The lunch league always had the school basketball team playing on different teams.
Yeah.
You know, so they were they were good games. However, we made them good games because we did not allow a blowout. Because we were the referees and we would control the game. And even though we would get vexed, we would tell them, but it was a little walk. The game is close. You okay? All right, Mr. Pugh. But they were good games. They were good games. There was talent. Because and you could really see the natural talent because there was no coaching involved. It was just one-on-one team play. Pass it inside, outside. Yeah, and I think the game has evolved so much that like Alvin Iverson, he'll shake you and like I said, back in my day, even when I coached earlier, you weren't allowed to dribble that thing. You weren't allowed to dribble the ball. You had to pass the ball 5 times if we
Yeah.
would go for a shot. I mean, and these were the rules and that were taught to me from college that I used, and they were successful doing my type of basketball because my type of basketball coaching was we had uh, we didn't have a shooting clock and we could freeze. So once I was up by 4 points, I'm running my full course. I'm gonna let the
Yeah.
clock run out. You can't do that now because you have a shooting clock. So basketball has changed quite a bit. You know,
Yeah,
but the,
that's
the
true.
lunch league though, it was talent, natural abilities. That's what you saw.
Well, how do you feel about having a shot clock in high school basketball?
Whew. It's a different kind of strategy. Like I said, I couldn't coach because that's how I was brought up. When I coach, I wanted to get ahead by a couple points. Then I'm gonna freeze it, and you're gonna lose because you're gonna foul me. But with that shot clock, you got to score. And if you don't score, the other teams get that rebound or they get the ball and they're coming down. They're gonna cut that deficit down more and more. So with the shot clock, you have to learn how to coach from 2 minutes out using the shot clock. Whereas with me, I learned how to coach 2 minutes with no shot clock. So it is different.
Yeah.
And like I
Yeah.
said, with the pros right now, they go all the way for the layup, and then they dump it to the corner for the three. And I mean, they make the three, but me, I want the 2 point. I'd
Yeah.
rather settle for the two. But that's the way the game has evolved.
Would you was a good shooter, so you probably would fit in well with with this generation of basketball. Am I correct?
Yeah, yeah. The scouting report always said I had a good 15 to 20 foot jump shot, you know,
Yeah.
and I had a good first step. Like Michael Jordan, that first step, I had a good, quick first step. So, you attack that lead foot, head and shoulder fake, I'm by you. But even back in Michael Jordan's days, he wasn't shooting that many threes, if you notice. They were still shooting the twos, dumping it inside.
Yeah.
You know, they won a lot of their championships, you know, dumping it inside, shooting twos, Michael driving to the basket. Only now, because of Steph Curry and the way the game has changed, that we're shooting more 3 point shots now. You know, um, it was an adjustment because when I started playing with the 3 point shot, I was still stepping inside the 3 point range because that was my range. I was comfortable. You know, I would do that before I shoot a three. Just take one step inside, boom, I got the jumper because that's my shot. But it was just after my day. You know,
We have a question here from Sheldon. Thank you for your service, sir. Do you think the Virgin Islands has a sound special Olympics program for special needs athletes in our community?
oh, that's a tough one right there because island therapy. We're starting in the step program with Director Sarah Gunnings. She's starting a Special Olympics with us. Now, last year we participated in the Special Olympics, and I think it's great that you have the Special Olympics for specially challenged youth and adults. I think we need that. I think that's how we educate the community as far as the different programs and the different trainings that you need to be successful. Back in '78, um, the alternative ed facility was called the Dunbarton School, and that's where they put all the specially challenged students, and nothing wasn't being done. And then I think with uh, they started implementing the mainstreaming special need kids into the programs. That's where things started to change. And even now, Special Olympics has increased. So no, I think it's a good thing. I think we can do more. I think instead of having it once a year, I think we should have, maybe have it twice a year because
Mm.
these kids love it. And it's all about participation. It's not about winning, it's not about the medals, anything like that. It's about participating, to hear the crowd cheering for you, telling you you're doing a great job, a good effort. It's about our way of telling them that, we care, we love you, you're doing great. And that's what they need to hear. Get a high five, you're doing great, way to go, you know. So that's what it's about, really.
How how did you get involved in that? Was it from being a physical education student dealing with so many, I mean, teacher and dealing with so many students, and maybe you came across some students that had challenges that made you decide to move in that direction?
Well, every school has students that have challenges because they're mainstream.
Yeah.
I was very lucky because in my department I had Livio Magnani, who was from Bellevue, who worked with students with special needs. So he would say, Mr. Pugh, I'll take all of them. So, and he would do a great job with them. With me, with the boys group home closing down, Island Therapy had called me and said, we got a position for you as a behavior technician, working with kids with autism. You have to get certified, take some courses and all that. And from the group home, I became the director of the GIST program, which these are kids who are court ordered. And I had to go to schools to make sure they were still in school and passing their grades. And I would go to court, do reports for them. But once that program ended, I called Island Therapy and said, I'm ready for the position. Well, when they first hired me, they had me working with the little kids between the ages of 6 and under who were um, on the spectrum of autism. And the little kids, I just wasn't comfortable with the little kids. And they had an opening in the adult program. And the adult program, believe it or not, some of the adults, they were Atlanta Christian, you know? And I knew some of them.
Oh.
The staff was great. The director is great. The training, they prepare you well. And then after that, it comes they my experience of being around kids, youth, children, coaching. A lot of it is just my natural ability to get along with people, you know, because I joke a lot. I try to make them happy. I try to keep the focus on them. I try
Yeah.
to make them feel like they're the most important person in the room. You know, I give them feedback. I make it fun. They work a little, we have fun. Work a little, have fun, and we just keep it a positive attitude, and that's very important. And
That's important. Yeah.
Allen Therapy. I mean, and even at Allen Therapy had the director, um, Dr. Wagner, said, "Mr. Pugh, one of your students came in and said, is that Mr. Pugh from Central?" And she said, they just said, how great you are, how wonderful you are, you do this, you do that. And I'm looking at her like, well, he told her, why is she telling me? And she's like, I just wanted you to know that, you still got people in the community that still think highly of you and remember you. And I was like, okay, I appreciate the compliment, and I take it as it's a compliment, but I think it was just, me being me, you know. throughout my whole life. And my philosophy is, I treat people the way I want to be treated. That's what
Yeah,
I believe in.
it's true.
And
Yeah.
if you mistreat me, that doesn't mean that I have to swallow my pride or give up my values and and be like you. I consider myself a better person. And that's all part of, you see I got my Omega Psi Phi fraternity,
Yeah.
manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. And that's all part of what I believe in, And
It's
that's
true.
what it's about. And with the special needs program that I'm in, it's it's a change. It's challenging, but I love it. I really enjoy it.
What made you decide to get involved in, the fraternity?
Oh, college, my senior year, I mean my junior year, my roommate, we lived together. So he went to University of Connecticut, pledged Springfield College did not allow any fraternities. So him and his line went to uh, UConn every night, and he said, "If I make it, you're gonna pledge." And we all, because there were three of us living together. We said, "Yeah, okay." So he made it. He became a part of the fraternity. We never saw him again. He was with the frat. And then my senior year, December, he said, "Let's go." We look at him like, "Where?" He said, "You're going to UConn. The interview starts." He said, "We got to drive all the way to UConn, you know, every night." He said, "Yeah, we're partners." So the three of us, Van Johnson, Alan Cribbs, and myself, we went to UConn, and that's where it started. And every night we were there for 14 weeks. Uh, we were looking at each other. We're still going. If one of us would have quit, we would have quit, but we kept going. And
Wow.
you know, some of that it was my senior year basketball. So my stats went down a little bit in basketball because between traveling 14 weeks in the middle of basketball season, the Mega Psi Phi program, it's a little difficult. I must say it's difficult undergrad, but
Mm.
I didn't quit, and they didn't quit. And my line brother Alan Cribbs, he came here to visit me from Springfield College, and he's one of the best coaches on the elementary level, along with T. Henderson. You know, um, Alan Cribbs, he taught Central, Coach Central, Arthur Richards, and Charles H. T. Henderson, uh,
Yeah.
same thing. Arthur Richards, Alfredo Andrews. So I mean, all great coaches and great friends. You know,
Did anyone in your family has pledged as well too, or you're the only one?
no, no, and that's why that was something that I did for me because
Okay.
I've always tried to be like my brothers, and my brother went to Morgan State, and that's where Omega Psi Phi is one of the first chapters, and my brother knows how hard it is at Morgan, and to this day, my brother he wouldn't pledge. He called himself an independent because he went to all the parties because he was well known and he was captain of the Morgan basketball team. But when he came to the Virgin Islands, I remember playing because we played every Saturday morning. We opened up the gyms and I said, "Let's go." I said, "All my life, I wanted to know if I'm better than you." We're playing one on one.
Wow.
And we played and I beat him. And he said, "You beat me." I said, "No." I said, "I think you let me win." He said, "No, you beat me." I said, "What? A big brother would let his little brother win." And to this day, I still ask him, once in a while, "Did I really beat you?" And he'll say, "Yeah, you beat me." And I said, "I don't believe you, because I, I place him on such a pedestal that I find it hard to believe that, I beat my hero, you know. But
Yeah.
I beat because, like Kevin Shepard says, nobody can beat you one on one. You take pride in that
Yeah. That's true.
because you have nobody to blame but yourself. So,
Yeah, that is true. So it was pledging joining the fraternity. That was you was definitely satisfied with your decision.
oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Because it made me the person that I am today, and
Mm.
it's also made me the person I am here in the Virgin Islands. Um, it because of my fraternity, I have to give back. I have to try to improve our community. You know, um, and we have fundraisers. We give out scholarships. We do food drives. We're very active in the community. Um, so, but no, I have no regrets. Um, I remember in the New Jersey Nets in camp. I was in the locker room and the guy looked at me and said, because I have a brain, he said, "You're a Q dog in the NBA?" I said, "Yeah, man." He said, "Why?" I said, "You know about that?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "But I would never do that." I said, "Okay." But it was the way he looked at me, gave me a little bit more respect So, but no, and that was one reason. Like when I won the car, I wore purple and gold. That kind of inspired me because we don't quit, And I was not going to quit. I was going to win this car, and no matter what, I'm not going to quit. You know, I'm coming back again. You might beat me this time, but I'm coming back in. And that's what I try to tell myself. There's no quit in my vocabulary. When Mr. Pugh taught you, there is no quit. And as an assistant principal, man, I would have students. I said, "You just come back and talk to me," and they would skip class. But when they talk to me, I said, "Now, see, you're showing me responsibility. You're showing me that you can show up at this meeting at the time that I told you. And in life, you're gonna have situations like this. And I said, I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna give you some extra work. I'm gonna get you out of Atlantic Christian. But Mr. Pugh, I missed so many. I said, I'm gonna get you out of Atlantic Christian. I'm gonna talk to the teachers. We're gonna do some extra work, you know. And some of the guys, the knuckleheads, I got them out. And to this day, it's like I never thought I would graduate from Atlantic Christian. But
Wow.
Mr. Pugh, you helped me. But I told him, that's my job, as an assistant principal, as an educator, as a person, So, but I have no regrets. 40 years in the frat.
Nice.
Um, we got some good brothers here. Rick Margraf, um, T. Henderson. Alan Cribbs. Uh, the Craig Williams. The list can go on, and we still doing stuff. Keith O'Neill. Um, uh, yeah, we got some good bros here.
Nice. Nice. With this might I'm gonna ask you this question because I see stories of individuals that did the same thing that you did, impacting the community, impacting a lot of people's lives, kids' lives, etc. Is there any student stood out to you that you always remember, that always crosses your mind, that this one individual that just had a major impact on your life just because maybe what they went through or the connection that they have with you, etc.?
I think, I think Craig Williams
Mm.
because he basketball player. I've seen him struggle trying to make it to the pros, working out, and I just always wanted the best for him. Because he was a big man and I was a big man. Kevin, um, Kevin, Kevin was good. He was a great point guard. He really was. So,
Yeah.
but when you see people struggle a little bit, because I mean, with Craig Williams at Temple, with the injuries that he's had, he really didn't get a chance to show his talent, and he he reminded me of myself because I really didn't get a chance to show my talent in high school, you know, and I just kept improving in college, and I got better. And it's the same thing with Craig at Temple. He got a little bit of time, and then when he went to TCU, he got more time to improve himself, got the exposure, and then he went on to play professional basketball from one agent to the next. And we talked, and he just kept elevating his game, and that he reminds me of myself, my story.
Okay. Nice. Nice. We have a question here from Shalon. What are some tips you can give to someone aspiring to be a physical education educator? Some pros of the job and some of its difficulties.
Well, Everybody thinks physical education that we play, but the curriculum is you have to take biology, chemistry, kinesiology, physics,
Mm.
uh,
Wow.
uh, psychology of sports, regular psychology. Most phys ed majors are pre-med students. You have to have a strong science background, anatomy, physiology. So my advice to you is, if you have a strong science background, yes, you can do this. But if you don't, it's not for you. Because what you see is the aftermath. What you see is the hard work that we put into it. Now you see the rewards of coaching and teaching the various sports because it is a tough curriculum to get in. And now with education the way it is now, they are checking all of your credentials. Because I know Cleve, who worked at Arthur Rich. I don't remember if you remember Cleve. He coached at Arthur Rich. He taught physics. I lost short. I forget his name.
Mm.
His name's Cleve Wolcott, maybe. I don't
Mr.
know.
Wilcox?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
had to go. He's in Cleveland, and in order for him to teach phys ed, he had to go back and take another science course that he didn't take when he was in the Virgin Islands. So
Jeez.
they're really buckling down on, looking at your transcripts.
Yeah.
Back in the day, if you look at your transcripts, like, okay, we're so short of teachers, we're going to exclude you from this course, you can teach. So, but no, it's a hard curriculum. It really is. I mean, you got to have a strong science background. A lot of my friends are doctors, pre-med, are dentists, you know, uh, but if I take 16 more credits, I could be a doctor if I wanted to and just do a resident internship because of the science background that I have. So it's a difficult curriculum. I would advise anyone if you plan to pursue it, uh, look at the courses that you have to take and then decide if you can handle it.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Well,
I, I know a lot of
that's
people don't.
yeah.
A lot of people don't. They
Wow,
think
man,
we just
that's
coach,
crazy.
or play, toss them. All you do is throw them a ball and tell them go play. Get the
Yeah, yeah,
stopwatch,
yeah.
go. No, no, no,
That's what I
no.
used to be thinking when I was a student. I didn't realize
Right.
the classes you guys have to take. Wow.
Yep, yep.
So we're kind of winding down here, David. I'm gonna ask you some quick hitters. Some questions just
Okay.
to kind of make you think a little bit. My first question is, what's 5 words that describe you as a person?
Five, 5 words to describe me. Well, I got to go with my fraternity. I mean, manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. Just being a responsible man. Scholarship, education, perseverance, not a quitter. Uplift, trying to improve my community as long with myself, and that I get along well with others. I respect people. I respect others. You know, so
Okay. Now, 2 words to describe your daughters each.
oh,
Yeah,
my babies, God,
yeah.
my
Two
babies.
words to describe Kelly and describe. I forget the other one name. I apologize.
Tracy,
Tracy.
Tracy.
Tracy. Yeah, Tracy.
Well, both of them. I mean, the 2 words for both of them in the same category would be proud Crusians. Okay.
Mm,
Now, individually, you
lovely.
know, Tracy, Tracy's my heart, and Kelly's my heart. I'm sorry. I know.
I like that. I like that one.
I'm sorry.
How how tough was it to be raising daughters from a male standpoint, being a father?
That's what my mother said. She said, she's proud of me because I raised two daughters because I have four sisters. She said, daughters are so tough, but I never had a problem with them. You know, and believe it or not, like I said, education is strong. And when they were little, I taught them how to read at an early age. Always bought them books. You know, if you look at their elementary transcript, they both went to Lou Marco, okay? And Elena Christian would get the transcript, and it would say, Mr. Pugh, Tracy was first, straight A's. I said, yeah. I said, because when they come home, they have a snack, and then they have to study. They have to do their homework and study, and I would quiz them on their homework every day. Now, Tracy, then she gets a scholarship to Country Day because I did not want Tracy to go to Elena Christian. I thought Country Day had more to offer to prepare her for high school. So she took the test at Country Day, got a half a scholarship. And that's why I worked 2 jobs. Kelly, meanwhile, was at Lou Marco. When Tracy finished at Country Day, Tracy took the SATs in the 9th grade and got over 1,300. Now, for a 9th grader, that's amazing.
That's amazing, yeah. Wow.
So from there, now, back in the days, it's all about grades. I said, you're going to go to a complex and you're going to do wonderful. You should be the Val, Victorian. She goes to complex. Kelly now her transcript comes to Elena, straight A's. She goes to Country Day on a scholarship. All right. Now, Tracy's senior year, she's the Val. And she's getting scholarships. And what I tell people is you apply to many places, but Cornell gave her the best deal, And so when she gets to Cornell, Kelly now, I said, Tracy, should I send Kelly to Complex? Tracy said, no, you should keep Kelly at Country Day because Country Day will prepare Kelly better than Educational Complex. And so that's why, I kept them, I did the things that I did because there's a strategy boss. So she was a Val, and now at Country Day, Kelly was the Val. And Duke gave her the best scholarships package to come to that school. And that's why she went on to Duke, And like I told them, from your bachelor's, you go get your master's, and your master's, you get your PhD. As a matter of fact, it's a funny story with Kelly at Duke. Kelly said, Dad, I'm going to take a gap year. I said, what? What's a gap year? She said, that's the year you take off. I said, holy baby, no. I said, white folks invented gap year and time out. You are going to graduate school right away, so you better start applying, I couldn't believe it. You're going to take a year because, once you're out of the sequence, it's hard to come back,
Yeah, you got to be very disciplined, very disciplined, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why, they did well. But you see, I've always motivated them because you get straight A's. Look, they had a car. I went out of my way. I mean, I didn't have a lot of money or anything, but I worked 2 jobs. But I gave them whatever they wanted because they had good grades. That was their reward. Each of them had a car when they got to high school. Now, the number 1 rule was don't give no boys a ride in your car because they'll say, oh, Mr. Pugh daughter, I'm country. I said, I don't want them talking about you. I said, because guys lie, But they were always motivated. Because I gave them whatever they wanted. Just bring me straight A's. I want to get you to college. Now, when they got to college, I remember Kelly calling me saying, Dad, I got a C in some course. I said, baby, is a C passing? She said, yeah. I said, I don't care. I said, as long as you get that college diploma. I said, a bachelor's of science from Duke doesn't say C. I said, it says bachelor's of science. I said, but work on those other grades, But y'all, man, once they got to college, get whatever you can. But they all did great.
That's awesome, man. Definitely congrats to your daughters, man. You did an amazing job, you and your wife. what's what's your favorite music? Some of your favorite music or musical artists?
Hip hop. I'm just enough. I like the hip hop, the custom CD. You know, Tupac was my favorite. Biggie Smalls.
Say that again. Who?
Tupac.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love
Biggie.
that. We gotta
You
make sure we
know,
say that
Diddy.
twice.
You know, I love all
Okay.
of them guys. I love the rapping, man. You know, especially the cussing ones. You know,
Yeah,
I play
yeah.
it out loud. They be like, Mr. Pugh, you know, what do you know about this? What do you know about that? You know, no, I like all kind of music. You know, I'm just I remember when I first heard reggae, man. I was in Philadelphia in a club. Now I was hearing this, you know, no woman, no. I'm like, what is this, mama? And I'm beeping. I'm like, wow. And they doing the roster two step in Philly. I'm like, what is this? Never heard of it, you know. Never heard of the Virgin Islands,
Yeah.
you know. But no, I like all kind of music, man. All kind, you know. But the
So,
rapping, you know, Biggie, Tupac, you
yeah,
know. And see, that's the thing that gets me because, you know, the way they died, the conflict, you
yeah,
know, unnecessary, man.
definitely unnecessary.
Talent is miss talent. You know, I'm not gonna say wasted talent because they contribute, but you know, I think if someone would have sat down and talked to them and say, you got the world ahead of you, you know, don't pay no attention to this kind of conflict or that conflict, but you know, that's it is what it is. So what can I
Yeah.
say?
I'm a big Tupac fan. I'll ask you this question. You know, it might be a little difficult, but I'll ask this to one of my quick. This is another quick hitter. Is there any Tupac song or songs that just stands out to you? That because that touches your heart or touches your
It's the one
soul.
that he wrote that he sung about his mother. I forget how it goes.
Dear Mama.
Yeah, dear mama,
Okay.
because obviously, he loved his mother. Everybody loves their moms, but I think they were tight. And I think his mother instilled a lot of things in him to pursue his career. I think perhaps she was guiding him, but the rebel in him kind of made him make some bad choices. I don't
Yeah.
know, but that one always hit home because it's my I think about my mother too. You know,
Mm.
and my mother's gonna be 90 years old come August. So
Wow.
she's still kicking.
You gotta. So what's that secret of the longevity when it comes to the food she eats?
Yeah, that's what I say, man. I'm trying to find out because I know it's not the rice and beans and the fungi. I know that. So, but I think if it's in your genes. My grandfather lived to be 105. He
Wow.
drank beer every day, smoked cigars, ate bacon and eggs every day. So
Really?
I think it's got to be in your genes.
Mm.
And I
Man.
hate, well, I can't give ages out. I was gonna tell you how old my older brother is, but can't do that. He'll
Okay.
kill me.
Okay. We have a question here from Dwayne. If you would have to do it all over again, would you still come to the Virgin Islands and teach, or go back to Maryland?
Oh, I would come here. This is my home, man. It's my people. You know,
I love that. I
I'm
love that.
safe. We're unique. We have people of color. We have our own black senators. Our own black governor, lieutenant governor. We can determine our own destiny, but we just got to get our acts together. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying. There's
that's
an,
true.
you know, our resources. If we just, I just set more programs. You know, fund more programs, educate the youth. I mean, we can go a long way. I'm glad that we can get UBI free tuition. That should have happened a long time ago. A long time ago. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm safe. I can, I walk the board. I walk the board wherever I go. I'm good. It's like even if Frederick said they might not know me as much, but it's like that tall guy. I remember him from somewhere, basketball player.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm walking Christian, Mr. Pugh, Mr. Pugh. But you know,
you you mentioned food. What food when you first came to the Virgin Islands? What food that you saw that you was hesitant to taste or try, but when you tried it, it just blew your mind and you loved it, if any?
Well, my children's mother is Hispanic Puerto Rican, so she makes some good chicken, rice, and beans, man. Golly, when they, God, she can cook, But and my girlfriend, when I first came down, Hispanic, and could make some good chicken, rice, and beans. But I would say the fungi that kind of threw me off a little bit, you
Yeah.
know. But when you put the gravy on it and all of that, it's tasty. The conch kind of threw me off because I got a hold of some bad conch one time, and he's like chewing gum, just chewing all day. It's like, no, you got some bad conch. You know, uh,
Yeah.
saltfish and dumplings. You
Yeah.
know, but no, but now like the stew goat, it's not one of my favorites. The oxtail. You know, but the basics. And then of course with Chicken Shack. Can't beat Chicken Shack chicken. The
Yeah. Yeah.
barbecue chicken. But you know what's great though? The softball softball field, chicken wings. I don't know what they do to
Yeah.
them chicken wings, man. But at the ball
Best.
softball,
The best. Yeah.
ah,
The
I
best.
stop at the softball game just to buy chicken. That is
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. We have a question here from Carrie Ann. With you being so competitive, have you thought of giving them competi- competition in the political arena?
Back in the day, I was a little popular that I thought that I could have possibly run for Senate, but it's a lot of work involved, you know. And I was getting toward the stage in my life that, I tip my hat to VLA, from teacher, because I remember when he first started teaching, to principal, to senator, but I watched the gray hairs, I watched
Yeah.
the wear and tear. I'm like, you know, this is rough. And no, no, because I thought that back during that time I would have been in that arena like when I first came down in basketball, Yankee this, Yankee that. You're trying to make changes, you're trying too much, and just to avoid that, I no, I'd rather just be me and just like I said, I was on the downhill of taking life easy, you know.
Okay. If you had to pick an actor to play your life story in a movie, who would it be?
No, I have to. I don't know. I don't know. Let me ask Tracy. Who should I pick as an actor to play my life? She said, I need to say Denzel Washington.
Yeah, she said a quick.
Yeah, yeah,
She said a
yeah.
quick. That's a good
Um,
choice. That's a good one.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I would have to go with him. That's what everybody loves Denzel Washington.
Yeah,
You
everybody
know.
do.
So,
So what type of movies do you like
well,
that you enjoy watching?
I hate to say, I did like all the Avenger movies. You
Those was
know.
good. Those was
Yeah.
good.
And I just saw this last report with Mortal Kombat. That was a
Yeah,
pretty good one. This
I
last
heard
one.
that's good. I heard that one is
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it's good. It's good. Um, I like movies where you have the underdogs
Mm.
and they just overcome all obstacles. Come out ahead. Those are the kind of movies I like.
Do you have a favorite sports movie?
You know, yeah. Love for Baseball. You see that movie,
Love of not
Love for Baseball,
love. Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
because he's there playing and going through his mind his whole life story.
yeah.
And I can remember
Powerful.
times where I'm just driving along in my car and just things will hit me, you know, um, things in the Virgin Islands that mean a lot to me, basketball career, people that I meet, you know, and him giving up the game. That's his last game. And I can remember my last game. You know that yeah, unfortunately, my last game I was pledging my fraternity, and after the game I had to line up outside the gym back to pledging, and the basketball team walked by me, cussing me, coaches mad
Wow.
at me because
Jeez.
I'm pledging my fraternity. I'm pledging a black fraternity, but I'm at a white school, and there's only two black basketball players. And believe it or not, the following year, the other black basketball player, Tony Jeffries, pledged to make it Sci Five.
Wow.
So I might have had an influence on him, and but yeah, you know. But that baseball movie, yeah, that I like that movie. That was one of the best sports movies that I've seen. Yeah.
I got two more quick hitters, but I want to ask you this question. Growing up as a kid, did you did you did you experience any major um, racial challenges?
Yeah. Baltimore City, yes. We going to the gym. Police stop us. Stop right there. Where you going? To the school to play basketball. You got an ID? Yes, sir. Here you go, sir. I'm going in my pockets. Here you go, sir. Oh
Mm,
yeah, all the time. Yeah. You always walk with your ID. You always were taught to be polite to police officers. Always, you know. So yes. Um uh high school. I went to a brand new high school. There weren't that much presence. There was some, but it wasn't until college, Springfield College, there was some racism. Yes, we went through it. Um, like I said, I could have had to dress a certain way as a basketball player, conduct yourself a certain way. Uh, I remember a biology class, 500 students, and I skipped class that day. Coach called me in. Pugh, you didn't go to class. I said, Coach, there's 500 people in that class. What you talking about? He said, well, out of the 500, there's six blacks and one basketball player.
wow.
So do the math. And I was
Jeez.
like, whoa. Yeah. So, I was like, wow. And then there were times when I had classes where the professor would have me sit in the front when it's time to take a test. Pew, I want you to sit up front, take a test in front, you know. And I would tell him, oh, you think I'm going to cheat because I'm black? I got to sit up front. No, it's not that. I just want to sit up front. So I went through things like that. I mean, I played at other schools where, white schools, and they would spit at me because the bleachers were close, call me the
Wow,
N
man.
word, and on the court they would call you, try to cause you to get a technical foul, get thrown out. Yeah, I went through that. But it just makes you strong. It just makes you prepare yourself for life.
That's
It's
true.
don't lose it. Just like basketball university, Joe, he loses every game,
Yeah.
and I was
So
like,
yeah, it's
if
tough to
he
see
could
that.
just, yeah, it's like if he could just get his attitude straight, you know? And how much I'm still watching is how much will the coach go through before he kicks him off the team? Because I think that's going to be the final outcome. Coach going to say, I can't do it no more. You cuss
Yeah.
me, you do this, you do that, So, yeah, yeah, I experienced it. Experienced all my life. So, that's how it goes. I mean, even here on the highway, the police stopped me one time. Let me see your license. And I went to grab my pocket and said, hold it, I'm going in my pocket, officer. He said, Pew, is that you? I said, yeah. He said, get out of here, Pew. I got better things to do. And he didn't give me a ticket. He said, just slow down. And I went on
Yeah.
about my business. But I still have my instincts, when I go back,
Yeah.
you know. So,
How man, you know what? It's kind of difficult because like for instance, like myself and all the many others that grew up in the Virgin Islands that we never really had to deal with that growing up as a kid. So it can I always wonder like what goes through like individuals' minds like yourself as a kid, like knowing that this is what you're dealing with, and then you look across the street and you see like a Caucasian kid and they don't have to deal with it. Like, was there any type of animosity towards them or like how did like how did that affect you on a daily basis?
Well, it's like right now you live in Orlando. Do
Yeah.
you experience racism in Orlando?
Man, what's crazy? Like I've never really experienced it. I don't know
Well,
what I've never for some
right.
reason.
But when you walk in an all-white store, do they just stare at you sometimes?
I mean, yeah, people stare at me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's
So
part of it because if you can
yeah,
read their mind, but you walk, when you go certain places, watch how the people react towards you.
yeah,
You know, I mean, that's that's a form of racism. You know, um, so yeah, I mean, but you just and as a Virgin Island, that's why as a school teacher, I try to convey to my students that when you leave here, you are going to experience it.
yeah,
Sooner or later. If not, then great, but you will. Because of the color of your skin, how you talk, your accent, you know, and how you react will determine the outcome of the situation.
yeah,
And that's what I try to tell all the students that I've taught, even at the boys group home, but again, just to prepare you for life when
yeah.
you leave the Virgin Islands.
That's true. That's true. Cause the only thing I could take off for myself, I mean, I'm 6'5", and how I look, a lot of people say I look mean and stuff. I have like like a hard face. So maybe that kind of like, sway them in a different direction, as whereas they might not be as vocal, but they still have it in their back of the mind, like you said, like just looking
Right.
at you, So I was wondering, man, like, how that feeling was.
Right. Well, it just hasn't happened to you yet. That's all.
Yeah.
But
I
you're
like
prepared.
you said that. Yeah,
You are prepared. At least from
definitely.
this interview, you can sit. When it happens, you will hear my voice and say, "Oh, this is what Mr. P was talking about." You know. And then
Yeah.
from there, you have to decide what are you going to do. You know. And if they tell you lay on the ground, lay your ass on the ground. I don't care if you got on a Calvin Klein shirt, just bought it, a suit. Lay your butt on the ground. Put
Yeah.
your hands behind your back. Don't give them no excuse. And
That's
that's
true.
that's how I was raised, and that's what I would do.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. We have a question here from Andrew Titus Jr. What is your sale pitch to others about St. Croix?
You know,
That's a good question.
yeah. St. Croix, good food, good people, good beaches,
Mm,
great place to live. But remember, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and it will
yeah,
go a long way.
facts.
Yeah.
That's perfectly. That's well said. That's well said. So I got two more quick hitters. 5 dinner guests, dead or alive.
Huh?
5 dinner guests. You had a dinner table, and you could invite 5 people to your dinner table, dead or alive. Who would they be?
Well, my first one would be Michael Jordan. That's my frat brother because
Okay.
I can understand when he did his special. Some of the things he was going through, I went through. You
Mhm.
know, in rookie camp. So I understand Michael. You know. Um, Also, I would invite 5 guests. I would like to invite, believe it or not, Dennis Rodman because
Nice.
I would like to know how did he come up with the idea just to specialize in rebounding to make a name for yourself, and also what possessed him to go through the different types of behaviors that he go through. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah. Um, I would like to also invite Jackie Robinson
Wow. Nice.
because I know he went through more than I went through, and I would like to know what was almost his breaking point. you know? Or did he almost get to a breaking point and he caught himself, you know? Because all I picture taught mention that is the spectators calling the N-word to him, and going through that, basketball is such a fast sport that you have to turn it off and focus. But in baseball, as a baseball player, you can kind of let your mind wander and listen or roam into the stands. You're on a on deck circle. You kind of peep over and listen a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I'm not a baseball
player. No, you're 100% correct. Yep.
And then once you step into the batter's box, you're in the zone. You're focused. But outside the batter's box, your mind can roam, and it's like, so what was he going through? So
that's true.
Yeah. Also, number 4, Gail Sayers.
Wow.
Because one of the greatest.
Yes.
But because of the injury.
Yeah. The injury.
And because of that injury, Gail Sayers went on to become a part of the administration of the Chicago Bears. So his life wasn't really that bad. I don't think, but it still bothers you. What if? What if?
Yeah.
What if?
He was so good and so talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Barack Obama.
Yeah, he's one of the most popular ones. Yeah.
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 Take him on the court and beat him in basketball.
I have one more quick hitter.
And ask him, how did it feel knowing that the Republican Party only goal was not to let you succeed?
Yeah.
That was their objective. And that's
so
a damn shame.
Yeah, so sad, man. Yeah. Unbelievable.
So those are my 5.
I got before I ask my last quick hitter, what's your top 5 favorite basketball players? Your top 5 favorite basketball players?
Well, I gotta say Michael Jordan. All right. Kareem. Magic Johnson. Larry Bird was a bad boy.
Bad boy, yeah.
Larry Bird was bad.
He was.
I hate to say it. He was bad.
Yeah.
And then the last one I would say, Elijah one was bad too. He was a bad big man.
Yeah.
Versatile. Yeah. So those are my top 5.
Now, your top 5 favorite Virgin Islands basketball players. I know throughout the interview you have listed a lot of players, but what's your top 5 favorite? You're just your favorite.
I don't know if I can. Could I name
if you can, you don't have to. I don't. So, but if you can,
Tim Duncan, Roger Bell. What was the brother's name that played for the Bullets? I mean, the Washington Capitals, the Washington Bullets. What was his name? Was it Wright? He played for Washington.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Weapon.
What's his name?
Yeah, I forget his name.
He was from St. Thomas, right?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. I know you're talking about them.
These are people that I played with. So Atwood, Frederick Cornflakes, Atmore Fredericks.
Yeah.
Cornflakes, and I heard he was a great baseball player too, a good pitcher.
I heard that, yeah.
But he was a good ball player. And my last but not least, I used to watch play in the league between Cuffy and Kevin Shepard. I'm gonna have to go with both of them as a tie.
We could live with that.
Yeah.
We could definitely live with that one.
But I think Cuffy was more dominating. Because big men, they go baseline to baseline. Guards, they go top of the key.
That's true. So. Yeah, he was more dominating. Yeah, he was dunking on people and all kind of stuff.
That's right.
Yeah. So when is when it's all said and done, what would you like people to remember you of or by?
Well, I think when it's all said and done, that you know, I've proven to the Virgin Islands that I was here to stay and help the community. You know, um, and that means a lot to me. I produced two wonderful daughters. You know, that gives back. Um, my family, my brothers here, my sisters here. What's great about it is that you cannot say, when you say the Pews, you cannot say one bad thing about the Pews in the Virgin Islands, St. Croix, you know. And my mother is proud of that, and I'm proud of that. But
Awesome.
just giving back, just trying to uplift the community, uplift individuals, because, what's true of the part is true of the whole. So if the part is getting their act together, then the whole community has to get its act together. You know, I will say this, that, with the violence and all of that, toward the end of my teaching career, I could see it increasing. And I would tell my students, how can you live in Red Brick and go to Sign Farm and fight, and then go back to Red Brick and think you're safe? You live on an island. You're 5 minutes away. There's a such thing as called retaliation. And now they're using guns. They're not fighting, they're using guns. And so to think that you can go and shoot someone and go back to wherever you're from in St. Croix, it's crazy. And that's why it just keeps escalating and escalating. And we just got to stop and say, hey, we're going to resolve the situation, conflict resolution, however we can do it.
Yeah.
Let's come to terms. You know, if it got physical, I apologize. It will never get physical again, and let's end it there and get along. But it doesn't have to get physical and then retaliate with a gun or a weapon. Let's just say, hey, and it shouldn't have to get physical because they're only words. We should be smart enough to say, you know what? I'm going to walk away. I'm going to walk away. And we walk away. Be the better person and walk away. But let's not escalate. And I think that's what we have to do. That's part of the problem.
It's true.
So,
Man, Mr. Pugh, man, this was amazing, man. This was amazing.
well, I appreciate it. It's nice meeting you.
Nice
You're a
meeting
big
you
deal.
too,
You're
man.
6'5"?
Yeah, 6'5", man.
Okay.
6'5", yeah.
Well, back in my days, I got a new pair of Nikes and 3 pair of socks. I was 6'1/4" because they never took your height barefoot.
Yeah,
One
man.
of the six for the trade. I got a
Yeah,
few more, but
I
that's what
like
it is.
that. That's a good one.
But it's been a pleasure, and I just wish everybody the best, and I appreciate everyone listening to me. I'm proud to be part of the basketball players, the legends that participated in the Virgin Islands basketball. Um, people just mention my name along with the greats. Tim
Yeah.
Duncan. Roger Bell, Cuffy, Roger, Ronald Charles, Slim Jim, Edmund Frederick, and you all mentioned my name with them. And
Yeah.
I really feel honored. I really appreciate it. And I
Yeah,
thank
man.
you all.
Yeah,
Love the
man.
Virgin Islands.
Man, thank you for your service, man. Honestly, I learned a lot. Thank you for everything you have done. I want to thank you for everything you have done and so many on all the lives you have impacted and changed, and all the sacrifices you have made. Because being a coach, doing what you do, you spend a lot of time away from your family. You have to sacrifice a lot
Right.
of time. So I just want to, give you your flowers and appreciate everything that you do, man. That definitely means a lot, especially someone that wasn't, born on the island but came, and faced adversity
Right.
and embrace this place as your home and everything
I,
you have done for the community, man.
I came here when I was 24, and I'm still here.
Man,
As a Crucian member, son.
you're
Bonya.
Crucian. You are true Crucian, and you are a true representation of a Crucian.
VI for life, baby.
VI for life. VI for life. I want to thank all the viewers for tuning in, supporting Mr. Pugh on his episode, man. I appreciate you guys asking great questions. I appreciate you guys as always. We have the team of Livewire. They will be coming out tomorrow, 7 p.m. I'll be posting that in the group, the announcement when I get off. So definitely, guys, definitely support them as well. So everybody have a good night, man. I appreciate you guys. You guys be safe. David, thank you once again so much, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
All right.